Hello, hello. Today is Friday, which means it's time for a normal stream. Trying to find some intro music, and I'm sure it's a bad idea to be playing this because it might get me a DMCA on my podcast feed. But I went through the OST for all the Harry Potter movies because I was obviously going to pick something Harry Potter themed, and I realized that the first four movies were composed by John Williams, right? And then the next three were by different people, and it's like night and day how much better John Williams is at composing a score than like random fuckheads from Hollywood. He makes the movie magic, as they say. So, should I dive into anything in particular? I have my usuals lined up. I should clarify that last week I did a special stream. I went over sort of the last 10 years in retrospect as opposed to a normal like week in review type thing. So this week we'll be covering both this week and last week. Last week not too much happened. It was mostly just kind of Ralph shit as per usual. But this week, at the last minute especially, a bunch of stuff happened that I wasn't kind of anticipating. So there's more to talk about than usual. So we have double trouble, two scoops, two genders for this week. Where ban all weeaboos. I'm tempted. Every day I'm more and more tempted. I'll save the Hogwarts stuff for a little bit. I have some other things I want to talk about. So I'll save that. I usually like compartmentalize. I have like my little stuff up at the front, and then I kind of segue into like general locale stuff, and I segue into like the comfort eats, as I've taken to calling them internally, which includes our boy Ralph and Chantal, of course. Okay, hold up. Just want to check something. No, it's not time. All right, fuck it. Let's start. First off, we have the Grammys. The Grammys welcoming Dylan Mulvaney of X Days a Girl. And you can see the AGP smirk out in full force as, for whatever reason, the demonic government media apparatus that sits above us puts on a pedestal this complete fucking menace freak AstroTurf, probably directly paid for by the CIA. I'm pretty sure that this is some sort of thing. Like, you don't go from being a homosexual in New York and LA, taking pictures of yourself in a dress, and then being like 1 year later at the Grammys and then the White House. Absolutely AstroTurfed. What's not AstroTurfed is the responses to this. People saying that's a man, getting 18,000 replies. Her from the Daily Wire. Shout out to my boy Ben Shapiro from Israel. This one 5,000 likes. Well, she's a guy. Vomit emojis 3,000 likes. More queasy faces. The transphobia in these comments is sickening. She looks beautiful, so beautiful. From Melissa Moneybags. This actually got ratioed. Note to Keffels, this is what a ratio is. You see how the ratio is that there's more comments than likes? That's what a ratio is, in case you're wondering. Very beautiful to see the Bird app going to its former glory of being as the internet should be, where people can actually say what they want to say. In case you're wondering, if people could actually say what they want to say, this is what it looks like. It doesn't look like what's it called? It has like a special name. It's like love crashing or whatever the fuck, like the cult term. You know what I mean? It's not that. It's more like this. Another win. Okay, that's one win for the good guys, right? The other win is that the race is saved. Marzia, the Italian girlfriend of PewDiePie of many years, I think wife now, is pregnant. They got pregnant in September. They've waited since then before announcing, which is a good idea. And it looks like after all these years of speculation, they're finally having a baby. And when I say the race, don't get it twisted. I'm not talking about you, Whitey. I'm talking about the Italiano, Masteraciano, the Prego Parmigiano Italiano, the real purebloods, the Mediterranean Chads are rising the fuck up and taking over. We're fulfilling the prophecies of El Duce, and there's nothing you can fucking do to stop us. So big ups to my boy PewDiePie. He finally knocked it out of the park. The real question is, in case you don't know, they moved to Japan. For some sick fucking reason, they moved to Japan. So, and they moved to Japan after getting pregnant. So, I don't know if they're intending, because if they raise the baby in Japan, the baby's going to learn English, Swedish, Italian, and Japanese, which is fucking preposterous, really. Realistically, they'll probably only learn English and Japanese and not know Italian or Swedish at all. So that's a bit strange. I'm assuming that Swedish is a dead language anyways, so I guess that's not missing out too much. Italiano is still strong and vibrant, with red as blood as our pasta sauce. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they'll fucking leave Japan. I can't imagine that's a great place to raise a baby. I mean, I guess anywhere is a great place to raise a baby if you have infinite money, but I wouldn't do that to my kids. I had kids. I wouldn't say, okay, kids, I brought you into this world. There's a catch, though. You're in Japan. That's almost as bad as saying, hey, kids, I brought you into this world. Welcome to London. You know, that's like, why would you fucking do that? Why would you do that to someone? How can you live with yourself? Sorry, eggplants. Anyways, that's our good news. Hopefully, I wish them luck. More good news, actually. Get ready for open source League of Legends. League of Legends got hackerinoed. There's been a string of what's called spear phishing attacks, which is phishing, but it's targeted usually to a high-ranking person in a company. League of Legends got hacked, and the source code has leaked. So there might be an open source League of Legends coming out soon. Brought to you by the great state of the Russian Federation, which looks exactly like League of Legends, except all the people of color, all of our base genderqueer League of Legends characters and people of color have been replaced with Slavs, and they only speak Russian now for whatever reason. Turn up my mic, you say. I think my mic is just fine. I can see it in the yellow, the red. I don't know what you're talking about, my dude. So that's that. Also, Reddit got hacked. They kind of went back and they talked about what happened. It wasn't Reddit's open source, in case you don't know. So that's why there's like Reddit clones like Vote and rdrama.net. However, I think what got stolen in this instance was, in particular, administrative documents. So that's not been released yet. I don't think there was any threat to user data. It's more on the administrative side. And I'm actually curious to see what they got. Because with League of Legends, it was a blackmail situation. So this is definitely like a money thing. And I think even Cloudflare recently, they didn't actually get hacked. Their security was too good. But yeah, there's lots of spear phishing, corporate espionage type stuff happening right now, which is kind of interesting. So while Reddit and League of Legends are not having the best of days, Hogwarts Legacy is, and this is of course our transphobic segment of the episode. Actually, the entire episode is a transphobic segment. But Hogwarts Legacy, I was streaming it yesterday. I was streaming it for the 3 days of pre-order before its release. It's released today for everybody else. However, I read this tweet 30 seconds after it was published, and I'll read it now for the internet people. Thanks to you, Hogwarts Legacy is officially the #1 single-player game ever on Twitch, with 1.28 million peak concurrent viewers at launch. That is people watching the game during the pre-release phase. So the game's not even officially out yet. Even as I say this, the game is not out. And they've already smashed the record for most viewed Twitch game ever released. And you can bet people are fucking pissed off about this, including, to the surprise of nobody, Commander Jim Stefani Sterling, the Stardust, who inspires me so much in my day-to-day life that I actually made my character look like James Stefani Sterling. And I think at this point, I'm actually going to do something. I'm going to play a clip of Hogwarts Legacy. I have made a clip, I think. Let's see if I can actually find it. I did make it, and now I did not have the foresight to actually put it aside.
We're not alone.
Okay, I do have it. Here it just says this is a 4-minute clip of me murdering goblins, and I will contextualize all of this in a second. But for the sake of the stream, I'll play what was probably one of my favorite parts of streaming the game. Just so that everyone can see what the game is like before we start talking about it in the context of the outcry and stuff. And remember that my character is dressed very silly because I have opted to roleplay as James Stefani Sterling, and so I did my best to emulate my boy. Okay, that's not working actually. It's not working at all. Can I capture it like this? Okay, that does work. Wonderful. Excellent. Now we should be able to play.
We are not. Ranrock's loyalists. Around a dozen, I
Oh,
should say.
finally, I get to
But
murder
more.
people again.
Can't
Oh,
very possible.
sorry, it's going to confuse you because I didn't distort my voice like I usually do when I play my own clips. So you're just going to have to deal with that.
I'm into the tower.
We could, but we've no idea what's in the tower. More importantly, however, I'd like to know why they're here. They've set up camp just ahead. I suggest we investigate a little before doing anything else. Let's go.
Total goblin
Well,
death.
this isn't ideal.
No, it isn't. This way.
I
And
sure hope we don't have to worry about total goblin death.
charm here.
Sorry, I wanted the
Sensing
stag head.
announcing our arrival.
Only following orders. Leave your acting.
Quickly now.
That's what they all say. Oh, I have to sneak past? Total goblin death.
Cast the trick. Well done.
Good job, my boy. Good job.
Why, this might be the best meal I've had in years. No, I mean it. I don't think I should need to eat again till next week.
There must be something here. Ramrock said so.
I just want to kill these people.
quiet.
Oh, there we go.
Must be something here. Ramrock said so.
For me? Why have you dragged this out longer than necessary? You'll pay for that. No! Rather unwise.
Ramrock said so.
Confringo.
It's total goblin death.
Why can't I hit you?
I hate.
Total goblin death means total goblin death.
Revelio.
Now we take their gold and their valuables and their art.
Orders. Directly from Ranrock.
These orders indicate that they're after something
Find
to do
what you
with
find here could be the key to goblin kind finally
And
taking
why
its rightful
here?
place in the world. You need to stop them. That's right. You need to answer this question.
I will draw blood.
I'd like to see you fucking try, Goblino. Holy shit. Melt goblins in a vat of acid. Now it's on, my dude. Smash goblins with a box. Lightning goblins.
Revelio. It's It's more than mere coincidence that we encountered Ranrock's loyalists here.
I think.
Looks
Deal
like we found
Goblin
the
Wiggenweld
entrance.
potions. Report
It's locked.
Gringotts to the Internal Revenue Society. That is my footage. I hope I have enticed you. I hope I have demonstrated the game a little bit to people who are curious about it, as is my intention. I hope my commentary has been insightful, and now I will go over everything in that. Yes, in case you're wondering, Jews have been complaining that goblins are an allegory to real life Jews. They have said this for literally years. But first, let me take a step back and talk about Commander James Stefani Sterling, my boy. This is him showing his flapjacks off. Kind of horrific. This is him complaining about how gamers TM have been rubbing this in everybody's nose for days now that Hogwarts Legacy has been doing extremely well. He says, gamers TM spent years claiming game reviewers were biased and paid off, yet now they're trotting out scores for the Wizard game as proof that it's awesome. Some guy kept posting a screenshot of IGN's score at me, and I'm supposed to believe they suddenly started trusting a site they've made jokes about for over a decade. They love to use too much water site now. I don't know what too much water means, but okay. Christian 2920 says, that being said, without having anything against trans people at all, never have, never will, I've got a few friends who have gone through transition and I support them in every way. Does that mean that I can't enjoy a game based on a universe I grew up with and love? Commander Stefani Sterling says, you can enjoy it. You just can't claim to be an ally. He continues seething. Nope, I'm not reviewing the Hogwarts game. It sickens me every time I open the PS Store. Literally every time he goes to escape the world that is his nightmare fat prison. Look at this fucking face. This is how this man lives. He has his mouth open ready for cock at any second. He's a giant deflated balloon who pretends to wrestle troons in the squared circle. That's the only way he can get his dopamine anymore. He's addicted to painkillers. And when he goes to escape his life and he goes to the PlayStation store to play his video games, he sees the advertisement for Hogwarts Total Goblin Death PS Fuck Troons, there are only two genders, by J.K. Rowling herself. She developed every part of this game. He literally sickens him. His stomach churns. His blood runs icy cold. He breaks out into a sweat and he starts hyperventilating because he just can't believe that we exist in this world that we do. He says, my coverage will extend to explaining in detail how that game supports a viciously fascistic transphobe. So he refuses to watch it. He refuses to talk about it. He refuses to play about it. In fact, there's even a trans character in the game. They're in the Three Broomsticks. Their total girl boss, awesome, defends the main character, voiced by an actual real-life troon. However, their fantasy name, which I assume that the voice actor okayed, is Serona. So Laura Kate Dale, who is James Stefani Sterling's number 2, and they host some shitty podcasts together, says, of course, the transgender character's name starts with Sir. So even though they have gone out of their way, like you heard how weird my character sounded, there is no gender in the game. Zero. There is zero concept of gender. You can pick whatever character you want. You can give them whatever face you want, whatever color, eyes, and hair style that you want. You can give them whatever voice you want. You can pitch shift that voice. And then on top of that, you get to choose if you want to be a witch or a wizard. And the only thing that affects is what dormitory you start in. So there's like it's already a mixed dorm, so it's like there's not like a strong, it's just what side of the dormitory you start in. It's the same dormitory. It's not like heavily gender coded or whatever. There's almost no difference. So, and then in the game, they specifically avoid any kind of gendered language. There's not a single pronoun ever. I think I've heard one they in 9 hours of dialogue, and they use some sort of person that was like bizarre to me. It was like student person or something. It was a weird person suffix where you would almost always use man, but they couldn't, and they couldn't find a synonym to work around it. Gentle person. It's not even like gentlewoman is an appropriate term. You would say like I suppose you could say a woman is very gentlemanly or polite, or just say polite. But for whatever reason, they went for gentle person. This extremely bizarre anti-gendered term that was like, what the fuck are they smoking when they write this shit? So even though they went after all that, the shrooms are still not happy. Still not enough. Who would be surprised? Of course, James Stefani is now at 801K. Which means now usually what happens is they lose on Monday, they lose 1,000 subscribers. This one's been pretty slow so far. It's about 2,000 to 4,000 a month, depending on what they do. However, there is a chance that they will put out a video next Monday about how much they hate Hogwarts Legacy, and I think that will finally be enough to get them like 3,000 subscribers lost in one Monday. Every time he puts out a video, he loses subscribers because people are reminded that he exists and they just unsubscribe because he's a freak. So the next one might be the one. If not, it'll probably happen by the end of the weekend. So I'm excited for that. This is what I mentioned about the Jews, by the way. This has been a controversy since the first movie came out. They brought it back up whenever they want to shit talk J.K. Rowling. They want to say not only is J.K. Rowling a vicious transphobe, she is also an anti-Semite. She is a Nazi, basically. Even though she is just a regular woman, basically. They've tried, number one, okay, no, here's the thing. The goblins that Chris Columbus put into the original movie, and you have to give Chris Columbus props because all the visuals that we associate with Harry Potter are basically from his work. There's almost no original art from J.K. Rowling herself. So this is the mind of Chris Columbus, but Chris Columbus made a fuck ton of money making a bunch of good movies and has basically retired as far as I'm aware. So he doesn't get into controversy anymore. He was smart. He got the fuck out. So number one, this isn't his thing. Number two, there was a controversy that in the Gringotts, because number one, the bankers are supposedly Jewish coded, there's a 6-pointed star in the bank. And I thought, oh my God, they actually went to all the trouble to put in Stars of David, the yellow stars from the concentration camps, specifically to bully these poor goblins and make them obvious Jewish anecdotes. The problem is that the building that they use for this, they did not build. This is not a set. Technically it's a set because they use it to film, but it's a rented building. It's the Australian House in London. It's from it's like an Australian foreign mission to the Commonwealth in London. And they have the star because if you go to Google and you type in Australian flag, you'll notice that they have 6-pointed stars. I'm pretty sure it's 6. It is. Actually, it's 7. Oh, I'm wrong. How could I be so wrong? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it is 7. It's 6 on this. And this is the original flag when they were still a colony. They made it 7 later on. But they went with the 6-sided star inside the building. I think in reference to it's not the North Star, it's the other one. What's the name of the South Star in the Australian flag? South Star name. Sigma Octantis. I thought I had a different. Oh, Polaris is the name of the star. Okay, anyways. Southern Cross, the King's Cross. Yes, that's what it's a reference to. It's not a reference to the Holocaust, believe it or not. Not everything in the world is a reference to the Holocaust. However, don't point that out to Marcia Belsky or Sam Haft. In fact, when Stephen Day attempts to Jew-splain to these nice Israelis to us, he's from the Living Tombstone. I didn't know that. He's the guy that he was involved in that pony song about Discord, which is now a song about child molestation on the internet. He explains that this is from the Australia House and wasn't picked to be anti-Semitic. Sam Haft replies saying, pretty wild coincidence. They shot the Gobbles propaganda illustration goblins in that building. So he's not having any of his common sense. Fuck out of there. 6-pointed stars predate Jews, probably. Was there anything else about Hogwarts I wanted to talk about? No, it's just the truancy thing. It was successful, and they tried to resurrect this controversy that J.K. Rowling is somehow a fucking Nazi because Chris Columbus's rendition of her banker goblins included characteristic goblin features that have been a part of mythology for a long time, and they were wrong about him. So on that note, while I was browsing around YouTube, I found this video. This apparently somehow went viral. It's by a small channel from a Ukrainian called Harenko, and it has 1.5 million views. And it's alerted me to a game that I've never even heard of called Atomic Heart. And I just want to play you like a little bit of this because I'll cut it off where I stop listening. You ready?
That does exist that follows this formula, and it is about to be released, and its name is Atomic Heart. I want to preface the video by saying that if you're the type of person that is still going to buy and play something like Hogwarts Legacy despite its infamy, you might as well click off, as I'm going to explain why it's a bad idea to purchase and play Atomic Heart.
And this is exactly where I clicked off. Wait, no, actually, no, he said something else.
Go on, you have a Joe Rogan podcast to catch up on, or play Call of Duty or something, I don't know. Off you go. Being Ukrainian myself, I'm making this video to spread awareness, so even if 100 people see this, I'm satisfied.
Well, 1.5 million people saw it, and the replies are like unbelievably negative because, wow, what a stupid dickhead way to open your fucking video. It makes me angry because it's like the United States will never dig itself out of the debt that it has created in supporting Ukraine during this war. And this guy is from Ukraine, and he's going to get on the internet and in my language explain to me that I'm a fucking bigot and I cannot be persuaded to because I might listen to Joe Rogan or play Hogwarts Legacy. And I'm like, bro, fuck you. I hope Putin fucking drone strikes you, you piece of shit. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just feel entitled now. But it's like after my country spends $1 trillion to support your country, maybe you can just shut the fuck up about American politics. How about that? That's all I ask. I don't even ask that you support specific viewpoints. Just shut the fuck up. Don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion about Poroshenko or Volodymyr or whatever the fuck his name is. I just it really made me angry. Oh, fatigue. I don't know. Like, this dude's obviously some paused retard in fucking Kiev. He's probably Jewish. He probably has enough money where he doesn't have to worry about conscription because his family has wealth. He probably doesn't even live in Ukraine. I looked at his profile and he says Ukraine, but I guarantee he's probably living in Germany or Poland or something now. And he's completely non-threatened by the war. But he feels guilty about the fact that he fled, so he's going to go on the internet and he's going to say, don't buy this game. I'm assuming that it's about Chernobyl because he's ranting. It's like but he's going to equate Chernobyl with the atomic bombing of Hiroshima. And it's like, it was just an accident. They didn't do it to kill Ukrainians. We dropped bombs on Hiroshima to kill Japanese people. I don't think they were trying to cause an international incident that would lead to the dissolution of the USSR a couple of years later. I'm pretty sure it was just an accident. He is right in saying that the Ukrainians can't be blamed for it because it was all Russian staff. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Russian. The developer is Russian, but based in Cyprus. Dude, the thing is, I'm so minded that you can separate art from artists. I'm very much along those lines where it's like, I can even listen to music from like anime and British music, and it's like I don't care who makes something. So I never understood this outrage where it's like you can't buy a Harry Potter game because it'll kill trans people. Even if I cared, even if I gave a shit, I still wouldn't subscribe to that belief system because it's like it's a video game, it's music. It's like, stop making everything like code for this bullshit. I just don't give a fuck. The strongest argument they have is that the Gazprom guy funded the devs. Who gives a shit? It's not a study. I would change my mind if it was like hardcore, like they set it up like the Ukrainians ran Chernobyl and they detonated it because they didn't want the poor Russians to uncover that they were like hoarding like a child sex factory in there. And then Vladimir Putin himself makes an appearance. He's still in the KGB at this time, but he's, he makes an appearance and he's the good guy trying to uncover this sex ring that they detonated Chernobyl to cover up. Okay, like if that was the plot of this game, I would be like, okay, maybe this game is propaganda and people shouldn't support it if they don't want to support Russia. But I have a feeling that it's just going to be a shitty RPG that's based off of, made by fans of the other game that's based in Chernobyl, The Zone. What's the name of that? How did I forget the name of this game? Stalker. That's a Stalker. Sorry, I had a wet brain, a wet brain moment. It's a BioShock clone, dude. I mean, the thing is, it's baffling to me that these people are like, no, you can't buy this you can't buy this single player RPG experience. Like, have you not been begging for more single player RPG games for like a decade at this point, ever since the end of the chest high shooter era, and they just started making live service games and MMORPGs and knockoffs of Fortnite? Have people not been desperately begging for more shit like Skyrim, since for like literally a decade at this point? And then Hogwarts Legacy and this game that I've never even heard of until this Ukrainian guy was kvetching about how Chernobyl was an attack on the Ukrainian people and people shouldn't support it. It's like you're not going to win these fights because people have been desperate for games like this for forever, man. Don't forget to pronounce Chernobyl the retarded Ukrainian way. Listen, it's like a different language. I think some people try to say it's like a peasant dialect or whatever the fuck when they're trying to be really, really diminutive to Ukrainian people, but they have their own spellings of shit, and so that doesn't bother me. That's another thing that, like, people who go out of their way to spell Kiev or Kyiv as like their preferred spelling because they want to piss off the right people. It's like how fucking childish. Don't forget to put your preferred spelling of Kyiv in your Twitter bio, you fucking faggot. Jesus. Don't forget to put if you spell Odessa with one S or two in your Twitter pronoun bio, you fucking queer. Like, wow. They call me ADL. Jim tier take. No, you gotta respect the Russian language. They're the last saviors of the white race and the only people fighting global homo. It's Kiev, not Kiev. It's Kuv, not it's Kharkiv, not Kharkov. It's Lviv, not Lvov or Lov. Come on, bro. You gotta support Putin. Fuck off. Fucking retard, nigga. I'll have to delete this stream after I'm done now. Got me all Terry Davis. You got me all worked up. All right. Next tab. This is the light locale segment where I start dipping my toes into what I'm going to be talking about. Can we nuke Kiev yet? Are you still using services there? Yeah, actually, I do have a box in UA. They don't have a tier 1 though, because I think the Kiev IX only has Voxility as an upstream. I'll have to talk to them, see if they can get me a tier 1. Maybe I'll just pay for it myself and keep a presence in the Kiev IX. I'll take what I can get, man. I'm not a picky boy right now. Anyways, Baked Alaska, very excited to go to jail. Let's hear what he has to say.
Yo, let's fucking go. What's up, everybody? Your boy Baked Alaska here, about to go into federal prison. Let's go. What's up? So, I'll tell you the story real quick. I am going into federal prison for a non-violent misdemeanor crime. I didn't touch anybody. I wasn't violent. I didn't steal. I didn't loot. I didn't do any of that. But guess what? I'm being politically persecuted because of my politics. And I guess somebody's got to pay the crime. So I love you guys. Just want to say I'm going to be fine. It'll be good. I'll see you in 60 days. And just know, this is what's going on in America. This is where your taxpayer dollars are going. I love you guys. It's going to be good. Yoba never dies. See you soon. God bless and pray for me.
And then Hail Hitler, I guess. I don't know what the fuck that I mean, for real, how else am I supposed to interpret that? What else is they cut off where he points up and he goes, "Hey, look at that weird bird." So he gets 60 days while everybody else gets years. Probably because his live streaming, IP2 live streaming of the January 6th got dozens and dozens of people arrested. It was the primary source of evidence used against many people put out in the mass media to help round up and ruin the lives of probably several hundred Americans at this point. Good job, Baked. He's crying about 60 days as if that's not the LOL sentence that they give out to the federal informants, as if that's not the sentence number that you can't tell other inmates because they immediately know you copped a deal if you say that you're in jail for 60 days. Very interesting. Good luck to Baked Alaska. I don't know why he looks so fucking gay. Can we talk about that? My stream, right? Why does he look so fucking gay? He looks like Joe Dirt. Something about his hair just makes him think like, not Joe Dirt, the other guy, the big cats guy. Oh, jeez. Tiger King Joe. That's it. Not Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt's a very different thing. Joe Exotic. He looks a little bit like Joe Exotic. And as we know, Joe Exotic was a man who loved men very, very much. Almost as much as he loved cats. And those aviators were so fucking... He's just so gay. He's trying to look like a rapper. That's the number one thing that bothers me about Nick Fuentes' crew. Is like, why do they love black people so much? Why do they all love black people so much? And I think it really is. It's like there was that guy in Buckbreakin' who was talking about how hip-hop culture became so popular worldwide because it's an expression of masculinity that a lot of people don't have. And I think that's really true. I think that's why I think that is true, especially the people like in America First. Like, they're all pussy-whipped little boys, they feel like, and they're like, they listen to these jungle beats that pump testosterone through your veins, and you're just like, yeah, papa the boom boom shit, man. And Kanye West with his like raspy rap music, it's just like, yeah, this is the good shit, man. Very strange to me. I can't relate. It makes them look very pathetic to me, at least when I interpret it that way. So then we got Tommy Tudor. There's a chain of people going to jail. Baked Alaska is the first. Tommy Tudor was arrested on the 7th for trespassing at a gas station, which I assume means that he was told not to return to this local gas station near his house, and he decided to do so anyways, which resulted in the police being called and Tommy Tudor being picked up. So he's obviously not going to get a serious penalty for it, but the police are obviously getting pissed off with him fucking around and annoying people. So I wish Tommy would stop bothering people who don't want to be bothered. Also going to jail or has been arrested. I don't think that he's in custody. I think he has been charged with a animal offense. This is Quantum Kitty. And Quantum Kitty, I might have mentioned at some point in the past during the Cure the Wolf Zoo Sadist stuff, because there is a podcast called Zooier Than Thou. And this is a good time to teach you guys something about the internet. If you see people using this Zeta symbol in their name, that is a dog whistle, a literal dog whistle for attraction to animals. So you can see they use the Zeta symbol in their title, Zooier Than Thou, and it's literally a podcast about how animal-human relations should be decriminalized because they find dogs really fucking sexy. And he has been picked up, probably out already. I think he's in the hearing process. And I think he's hold without bond. He's actually in jail and they're not giving him bond because he's a serial dog fucker? What state is this? Where the fuck is this happening? I'm in shock. Maryland? Maryland? Oh my God. Way to go, Maryland boys. Them black judges up in Baltimore like, what the fuck is wrong with Whitey? Lock that nigga up. Throw away the key. Get him out of my sight. We'll deal with this later. Let's take a moment out of appreciation to appreciate one of the best flags in the United States, the state of Maryland. And Lord Baltimore, for which Baltimore is named after, has a component to this flag. Just a very nice flag, if I do say so myself, chat. Very nice flag. Based, locking up the dog fuckers and throwing away the key. And that's my kind word, my seldom kind word for the state of Maryland. Fuck you, Baltimore. That is fuck ugly. Fuck you. What's your name? Your name's Shiana Mangata? What the fuck kind of name is that? You know what's fuck ugly? Shiana Mangata. Your name, the name that your mother gave you, is fuck ugly. Don't you touch the Maryland flag? All right. This is where I'm drawing the line. Not having a good time in this series of bad times is Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein, in his infinite wisdom and sense of impunity, in the year 2022, I want to say, decided to go after a guy named Ryan Kavanaugh. I do not know if he's related to Judge Kavanaugh, the Supreme Court Justice, who had a very turbulent induction to the United States Supreme Court under the Trump administration. However, he is involved heavily in Wall Street. He is a very rich and powerful man, and Ethan Klein of the H3 podcast decided that he would go out and he would say that Ryan Kavanaugh looks a lot like Harvey Weinstein. So he bought a domain. He put up this website that says, does Ryan Kavanaugh look a lot like Harvey Weinstein? And he basically implied that this man, without evidence, was a child rapist. To the point where if you type in the name Harvey or Ryan Kavanaugh on Google, one of the suggested search results is, are Harvey Weinstein and Ryan Kavanaugh related? And I believe that this was actually a direct thing that they coordinated to try and poison his SEO, to try and associate him with a convicted sex offender. So for whatever reason, I don't know where the origin of this feud comes from, Ethan Klein decided to go after the livelihood of this man, bought his name as a domain name, and then Ryan Kavanaugh at first went to court to try and sue him for piracy. There are laws protecting domain name registration that are well established both in the United States and international court. For instance, there's the very famous PETA.org, which was made as a parody website for people eating tasty animals. PETA won because they have a trademark for PETA, and they were able to reclaim the domain name. And there have been many such lawsuits that have followed suit to get domain names that were parked to maliciously fuck with a brand. However, Ryan Kavanaugh, and no, the people eating tasty animals thing is a real Supreme Court precedent set for domain name and trademarks. And it was literally the people eating tasty animals one that made it to the Supreme Court. It's also an important law in the World Trade Organization, which is a UN thing for copyright. However, Ryan Kavanaugh lost the suit for his name because I don't think that names are. I think the rationale was that names are not trademarked, so he doesn't have a right to his name like that. So instead of going for the intellectual property route, Ryan Kavanaugh lawyered up with his vast resources and wealth and decided to sue Ethan Klein for defamation. The problem is that in California, they have one of the strongest anti-SLAPP laws in the country. If you don't know, anti-SLAPP is a measure in civil litigation, and especially in regards to defamation and First Amendment things, where you have a high burden of proof to meet before you can proceed to further hearings. And if you fail to meet the bar during the anti-SLAPP, you're liable for court fees right off the bat. So if you try to launch a spurious lawsuit for defamation, you fail at the anti-SLAPP, you owe court fees. So during the lawsuit, Ethan Klein tries to invoke anti-SLAPP against Ryan Kavanaugh, and not only did that get refused, the language that the judge used in denying the motion to anti-SLAPP the Kavanaugh lawsuit against Ethan Klein was very strong, that they would find him guilty of defamation. Used very strong language indicating that they believe that the language that the defamation was intentional, knowingly false, and malicious, and that Ethan Klein, after being sued, went on to repeat the defamatory claims over and over again on the H3 podcast to dig in kind of deeper. So he's already being sued and he's thinking, fuck, I'll just keep saying whatever I want because I'm just going to win the anti-SLAPP anyways. So he just kept saying the same shit over and over. And the result was that he lost the anti-SLAPP motion. He's now appealing it in the high court. And the end result is that if he loses the appeal, he won't be able to recover his legal fees. And because in civil tort, every repeat of defamation is a new offense, every single time that he went on his podcast and said things that tried to equate Ryan Kavanaugh with a child sex offender would be a new offense, and he could potentially owe a lot of money if they really count it up. So after that, he did a thing. He went to his podcast and he said that we lost our lawsuit, and he goes into detail, and I'm gonna play a couple seconds of this.
Yeah, so we'll get to that actually, but before that, I want to give a shout out to my wonderful wife who has put together a wonderful collection here. Teddy Fresh coming out tomorrow, 10 a.m.
He's really hurting for money, so he decided to shill his wife's merch. And if you don't know who his wife is, sorry, he's still advertising his merchandise.
Throws at somebody.
Parody.
Super.
Jesus.
Rest later.
Nobody cares.
You can make your own deduction. It was.
Oh, I don't think we actually did.
Oh, whatever. He says the judge is a fuckhead and he's going to appeal it. Basically, that was his coverage of it. I think he tries to look like he's crying at the beginning of this segment. I'll play that part.
So thank you guys. We actually have so much to talk about today. So many great things and sad things, as you guys can see. We're starting light, but I did lose brutally my lawsuit to Ryan Kavanaugh, who I am now.
You're bankrupt, right?
I'm in shambles. Actually, there's truth to that. There is truth to that. We did lose a motion, and then Cav wrote some like insane puff. I'm speculating that it was Cav because nobody else cares but him.
We have reason to believe.
He's so smug. Even after losing the anti-SLAPP, he's so smug. I would actually love for him to fucking lose everything because he's just such a piece of shit. And like, he should not be treating the anti-SLAPP thing with this kind of like lackadaisicalness to it, because you don't know, Vic's case lost. The Vic Mignogna Weebor shit, it's done. Vic sued his co-workers years ago, just in the broadest terms possible. Anime dub voice actor Vic Mignogna sues co-workers for defamation. In Texas, they have an anti-SLAPP, which is not as strong as California's. However, the judge finds that he did not meet the bar to prove defamation beyond, like on its face. He appealed it like 3 different times, and they've ruled that that he doesn't get to appeal it anymore. That he lost for sure. So now he owes, because I mentioned you owe legal fees to your opponents if you sue and you don't meet the anti-slap barrier of entry. You owe the legal expenses. So now he's on the hook for all the weirdos that he was suing for their legal expenses, which is really shitty. Yeah, I feel compelled to maybe stick even a single toe into the anime realm to give a proper homage to my boy Vic Mignogna and his lawsuit. Thankfully, I have the material here ready to go.
I know I've let you down. I've been a fool to myself. I thought that I could live for no one else. But now, through all the hurt and pain, it's time for me to respect the ones you love me more than anything. So with sadness in my heart, feel the best thing I could do is end it all and leave forever.
You know what's funny?
Done is done, it feels so bad.
I remember when I saw, in case you're only listening, there's a picture of Ty Beard, Vic Mignogna's lawyer, wearing a shirt that says, "Damn it, Nick, we lost the case again." I remember when I saw this, and I was on podcasts like years ago, and I saw this shirt, I thought, that's a blunder. That is a blunder. That's a fuck up right there. I think I specifically said this. I called it out. I said it both on podcasts, I said it on the forum. That is not what we call a good look. And I think that them losing the case, from what I understand, and I might be wrong, so take this with a grain of salt. This is Josh trying to use his memory, which is his least functional part of his brain. From what I remember, Ty Beard filed something last second, and because he waited to the last second and fucked something up in it, he was given an option of how to remedy it, and he did it wrong. So they ended up throwing out a 200-page brief or something, which is part of the reason why he failed to meet the anti-slap law, is because of how they fucked up this brief. And I really hate hubris. I hate like Ethan Klein's smug shit about his lawsuit. He thinks he can just defame people as pedophiles, and it's the funniest fucking thing, and nobody can do anything about it because he'll throw in the word allegedly, and therefore he's completely immunized from any consequences for calling someone a pedophile. Like, that's funny to him. Ty Beard wears this shirt that says, "Damn it, Nick, we lost the case again." When the case is still going through the motions, there's still plenty of time for fuck ups. And it's just like, I feel like anytime you posit to the world, I am winning. I have won. You cannot fuck my shit up. I am on top of things right now. I'm going to be smug about it. I feel like anytime someone does that, there's almost an instant reaction, almost without fail, that the world will bend and contort to fuck your shit up beyond all belief. I try not to be smug ever, because I'm terrified. I'm genuinely afraid of ever being smug, because I feel like there is some sort of really intense, very real karmatic thing where if you're ever smug, it wraps around and hits you in the ass real fast. It's just the feeling that I get. So when I saw this shirt, I thought, that's bad. It sticks out in memory. There's a funny edit of this where it just says, "Damn it, nigga." Actually, I have to find that. I love the "damn it, nigga" edit. Yeah, there it is. Wonderful. So that's Ethan Klein, and that's Vic Mignogna. To clarify, because I know that everything that I say ever gets sent to Nick Rekieta, and people try to instigate drama between us constantly. I have never rooted against Vic Mignogna. I think that there should be legal recourse if someone tries to ruin your life, because if there is no legal recourse, then there's injustice, and it drives people to either hurt themselves or to hurt other people extrajudiciously, and that is bad for society, the society that we do in fact live in. So. But on the other hand, I'm very happy to hear that there are like things like anti-slap. However, from what I understand, the main reason why the lawsuit was thrown out was because of a technical error made by the lawyer. So I'm hoping that Ty Beard will do the right thing and cover the legal expenses for this case, because if not, then Vic Mignogna might be in an even worse position than he was when he was being canceled as being like a child or a sex offender or whatever the fuck. I still don't understand why they didn't just come out and say he was gay. I still think he's gay. That's just, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. I don't care. I just want to say that. All right. I think that is it for the various locale stuff. I'll ask now, actually. Is there anything, because it's been 2 weeks, I tried to be studious and remember everything. Actually, now that I've taken the time to remind myself, there is something that I want to find real quick that I did not leave a note for. Yeah, no, don't worry about Ralph, Pete's, and Chantel. That's coming up. I do want to. There's some stuff with Drexel who really skeeves me out, and I want to shit on him a bit. I don't like him, and everything that I read about him, I like him less. Let me just gaze over this real quick. That's a 6-minute long clip. I'm not sure if I want to play that. Oh God, this is worth playing, I think. Yeah, I'll play this. First off, I want to say that Drexel does not like me. I made fun of him in my last podcast. So he says, fuck Josh Moon. This is a big black friend, mayor of MGTOWN. That is Drexel's name. If you don't know, Drexel is the black friend. He's known Nick Rekieta since college. He's made occasional appearances, pretty frequent appearances on Rekieta's podcast. I've never spoken to Drexel. I've never had... Sorry, I'm really dying. I've never had any desire to speak to him. And everything that he's ever said has made me like him less. I don't have that cool black guy appreciation factor that like America First has. So when I hear him talk, I just think negative things. I'm sure you can imagine what kind of negative things in your head. I will play this until I get bored of it because it's pretty fucking disgusting the entire way through.
Your girlfriend, whatever. They're all agents of the state. So, moving forward, now men know the truth. Thus, men need to evolve, and the species needs to evolve because patriarchy will always lead to democracy. Democracy will always lead to authoritarianism. You know that this is the way it's going to work, Nick. It will. So what's always the evolution
look like?
The evolution will be a man-only society, and then you still have to keep X amount of women alive, right? For the survival of the species. Only for the survival of the species.
I thought we had artificial wombs.
No. Because the artificial, if something goes wrong, right? You still need X amount % of women to be alive. You need female scarcity. Male scarcity is what creates patriarchy. Male abundance is what creates gynocentrism. So you need, so there has to be a point where men go like this. Look, man, we only need to keep 10% of these broads alive. That's it, 10%.
Why do you have to keep them alive? I'm still confused.
In the event that the artificial womb, something goes wrong. Something goes wrong, and you go, shit, we still need to procreate. We still need to reproduce. You have to keep X amount alive.
So are they like locked up in a cage or something?
They don't have to be locked up in a cage.
What do you do with them?
Yeah, you pretty much have like a herd, just like they do with animals that
just walk around fucking eating grass?
Pretty much. Pretty much. And do you know the reason for this, Eagle? You know the reason for this? Because nothing else has worked thus far, right? Yeah, think about it. Okay, every time an empire rises, what ultimately leads to the empire to fall, Nick? It collapses from within. Usually it's once you empower women. So once you empower women, your empire will fall. Period. Doesn't matter what. Like Rome couldn't survive feminism. America won't survive feminism. This is how it works. Thus, men need to evolve and go like this. We need the only thing that men need women for are two things primarily: for sex and reproduction. So the lover bots are going to take the place of the sex, and the artificial womb is going to take place of the reproduction. But you still need to keep X amount alive in the event that something goes wrong.
So you just build a giant ass Joanne Fabrics.
No.
And they just walk around in there forever because they'll never check out.
No, women need to compete to survive. So the most feminine women get the privilege of being a fucking concubine for the community.
What's the competition look like?
Well, women now have to compete.
Is it formalized like a sport?
Might as well be.
I'm trying to figure out what this looks like.
Well, okay, think of it like this.
Help me out.
If you're only going to keep, let's say you keep 10 to 20% of women alive, right?
Right.
Okay, so what's that going to look like? Now women go like this. Being fat won't keep you alive, right? Running your mouth won't keep you alive. So
they speak, they die.
You say anything out of turn, you'll get me too. So now, hey, Eagle, I want you to imagine the opposite, right? Imagine the opposite of Me Too. If a chick talks out of turn, you just give her that look like, did you just? Thanos snap. Thanos, done. Hey, hold on. Hey, Nick.
Then the counter simp squad runs up.
but there won't be simps.
No, it's the counter simp squad. They run out and they
yeah.
They just take out like their Roman pylons and just jab them into
Get rid of them.
They leave them.
Get rid of them.
I'll end it there. I don't want to make you listen to all 6 minutes of this.
No.
However, when someone pointed, I think it was Dynasty that replied, and he reminded me that this sounds very, very, very similar to a thing that I've shown on stream before by notable Troon, who is an editor for the Daily I don't know if it's the Daily DOT or the Daily Dot. So I want you to compare and contrast what base black man has to say about women versus what Troon journalist for the Daily Dot has to say.
In the future, there are a number of institutions that emerged originally as mutual aid projects and publicly funded tech ventures, but over time they gradually became these community-run institutions where if you are a trans girl or if you are trans feminine, you can go ahead and sign up for a reservation slot to an all-day access to one of many breeding facilities where you get to breed the shit out of that cis girl pussy. You can absolutely devastate that shit, fucking destroy it, murder it. It's done. Like, they have to cycle the girls out because that pussy is absolutely out of commission. And so this originally started as just your classic breeding facility, but it was expanded over time through a Kickstarter, actually. And again, a mutual aid project. So there's a lot of cis girls in tech that really supported the venture. God bless them. They're real co-conspirators for the movement. And, now we have breeding saunas. We have breeding bookstores, breeding movie theaters. Those are really nice. You have breeding adult schools. You have breeding esports arenas. Very fun. Impossible to do voice chat on, but extremely engaging. It's kind of a mixture of your classic esports fair, but also whichever team nuts first loses. So there's double the fun and double the trial and error. This is something we're building. This is the future. This is what TERFs don't want. They understand that we're trying to build these breeding facilities. And it's really important for you to fund your local trans girl top who is absolutely destroying that good pussy right now. Like, you need to give her the funds because she is the future. It starts with just the breeding facility where everyone blockchains a contract and gets inside. And it starts with the Mastodon server and the private.
So, the incel to Troon, the MGTOW to Troon pipeline. Ladies and gentlemen, have I made my case or have I made my case? By the way, this person still works for the Daily Dot, and they were so toxic that when they tried to join Drop Kiwi Farms, Keffels told him to fuck off because he had put out this audio which had essentially ruined his career. Very, very sad, very tragic. Not really, but whatever. Okay, now I present the opportunity for you to tell me if I missed anything in the minor locale sphere before I get into the comfort eats. The Macedon server. That's right, boy. That's right, boy. Everybody get onto the breeding Macedon server. The Fediverse to turn pipeline. Hey now. Hey now. Come on now. Seth the program Joe. I don't know that. I don't know. All right, boys. We'll proceed into the Rekieta rant. Basically, Rekieta went on and Rekieta's been watching this 3-week long jury trial that appears to be making him go insane. And he was on a panel with like 5 other lawyers on the show, and he went on literally a 20-minute long rant about how jury body language analysis is a pseudoscience, and he hates that people want to see it, including his own fans. He's like, I hate that people on my channel want to see this because fuck it, and fuck channels that do this shit, and fuck them because it's all bullshit. And he went on and on and on about it. And there was like the people streaming with him looked like they were all about to commit suicide. There was one guy, Branka, from the Law of Self-Defense. Nick Rekieta says rejects this claim of mine and says that he loved it. But I mean, I don't know how much body language is actually a pseudoscience. But when I was reading that guy's body language, he wanted to blow out his fucking brains with whatever weapon he had on hand. He actually left the stream. I don't know. It just seemed really like. I don't know. Maybe it's just an internet entertainment thing. I go on rants to try and be funny, but his co-host seemed like they were in on the joke, which is why it was awkward. If it was just people like riffing off, something that they didn't like together, that would be one thing. But there were 5 people there. One guy was ranting. One guy was humoring the ranting. The other 3 looked like they were trying to find a bottle of like poison or lead to inject into their brain to end their life. So that's the Nick Rekieta update. I don't think anything else has happened. All right, Chantal. She is in Canada. She is back from Kuwait. She is making her final preparations to return to her love, her Kang, her Muslim husband in the Kuwait. And of course, she lands in Canada, and the first thing she does is gets fucking wasted.
I couldn't stop myself on the burger. With the chicken nuggets, I was able to.
Oh, this is the stream after she basically found her old edibles when she got to Canada. And she took them and she got real high and then ordered a bunch of food and ate on camera. And everyone's like, aren't you Muslim now? Aren't you not supposed to be doing that? And she's like, oopsie daisies, you can't expect me to be perfect, hee hee. And has apologized. And then I think she took a lesser amount of edibles later on because she still looked pretty fucked up on her other stream. She is now. I went on this very briefly, but her ex-boyfriend, who she aborted 2 babies of, which has cursed her life to be this trajectory. I believe this is a karmatic retribution. And then cheated on with a black man, and then when he said he doesn't care, he would like to open the relationship anyways. She was so sickened by that cuckoldry that she literally dumped him for BB. And then she cheated on BB, and then they broke up, and then she got with an Egyptian man, and then she did meth with him, and then they had a bad relationship, and then she met a guy in Kuwait on Tinder. And now she has been living with that first guy the entire time, whose name is Pete's. And Pete's is a loser. He lives off her money. She pays for his existence out of pity. This is not a joke. He makes no income. He does not work. He is not looking for a job. He does not collect benefits. He literally just takes her money and then jerks off to lesbian teenage romance novels and comic books in his room all day, every day, and does literally nothing. And then wonders why he's depressed and thinks maybe it's because of his gender identity. That is Pete's. However, in Islam, by a command of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, married women may not live with a man who is not their husband. So Salah, expecting her to maintain her dignity and to protect his own dignity, because no self-respecting Muslim man would allow his wife or a wife to live with another man, has said, Pete, gotta go. sorry, Charlie, you got to get the fuck out of there. So she's selling all her shit. She's listed a tour to come by and take furniture out of her house. The rest is going in the garbage. And Pete's is being forced to find a new home. She'll be living on her aunt's couch until she's ready to move back to Kuwait when she is able to, because of visa expiry times and so on. Usually it's a 90-day on, 90-day off kind of thing, where you can stay in. I know this because I've juggled 90-day visas for forever. Go to country A, 90 days, leave, stay in another country for 90 days, go back, 90 days, go back, 90 days. You can do that literally forever, and it's great. If you have the luxury of doing that, I would actually recommend it. It's a nice way. It's a nice way to be. Yeah, how stressful. That's why I'm looking to stop moving soon, because I've moved enough times in my life where I'm done with it. So Pete's is in a bad place, and Chantal is annoyed by her because I think that the rule was when she came back to Canada that because she has being nice and giving him time to move out on his own, she's allowing him to stay there. However, he cannot be outside of his room while she's outside of her room. So that way they are not I'm talking about Chantal. Chantal is a woman. She's not a tranny, in case you're wondering. So Pete's is not allowed outside of his room while she's outside of her room, and vice versa. And that's how they're going to try to obey the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, while she is in Canada getting her affairs in order, and while Pete's is getting his affairs in order. So this is Pete sneaking out to get his dishes out.
Caged animals, right? Not interested, fatter, or even so. If you're a beezer, years for
Wait. I want the part where Pete's is there.
Street and don't somewhat being like it's not. I know.
Where's the? I didn't timestamp this, unfortunately. Oh, here.
For survey channel, some commentary videos.
Okay, Pete's comes down, and watch how annoyed she gets.
And I don't know, cold potatoes just...
She doesn't even want to talk to him. She doesn't want to look at him. Doesn't want to acknowledge him.
For sure.
Because Salal actually watches her streams while she's abroad, and she knows he'll be pissed off if he sees that Pete is outside of the cock shed while she's taking up the kitchen to herself.
I don't know. At a Motel 6. Beside a big heaping ashtray of cigarette butts. That's all they do. You can just leave it.
She's rolling her eyes and shit, saying, "Please stop washing your dishes. Just get the fuck out of here." She looks so unbelievably uncomfortable. Refuses to say anything, just waiting for him to get the fuck out. He even acknowledges this in his awkward autistic way, I think, right now.
Waiting for me to leave?
No, I was waiting for you to finish turning on the using the water. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Waiting for me to leave? Yeah. Yeah, I am, Pete. Get the fuck out of here, little bitch. Pete's, on the other hand, is not taking this so well. And to clarify, he is moving to a city in Canada. I want to say it's called Cornwall. That is not right. It's a place in England, but that's what it's named after. And it's like I want to say it has a reputation of being like a shitty place in England. I don't know what the reputation of it is in Canada. Let me find out for sure, because it's killing me too. Oh wait, no, I put this in. He's in the fat board. He's not in the other people board. In the normal board. Jesus Christ, this thread's moving so fast because people are talking about his living arrangement. Hopefully, does somebody in chat know? I'm gonna look at chat in a second. Cornwall. Cornhole. Is it literally Cornwall? Okay, so he's crying, I don't want to go to Cornwall. I don't want to go to Cornwall. They can't make me go to Cornwall. I hate Cornwall. The people there suck. And meanwhile, Chantal's just like, it's time to go to Cornwall. And she's grabbing him by his scruff and dragging him. He's like, no, I don't want to go to Cornwall. Apparently, Cornwall's a very conservative area. So he's like, I can't be my true, authentic, feminine self in Cornwall. There are a bunch of fucking transphobic bigots there. So he's being traumatized. I think this is illustrating him ranting. And keep in mind, he's moving to a place he doesn't want to move. And when I heard him saying, I don't want to go to Cornwall, it sucks, I will be stuck there, I'm thinking, oh, Cornwall is probably like a really shitty place. I'm thinking really poor, but really affordable housing, probably social housing. So he's going to like a social house in this dumpy city that he's complaining so much about called Cornwall. And he's going to be stuck there. However, he reveals details about his move and why he's picked the city he does not like, which makes him extremely unsympathetic. And I will play that now.
Cooking for much longer because odds are good I am probably going to end up moving in with my mom, who has a tiny little nothing kitchen. I feel like I'm probably not going to, honestly, I don't know that I'll be live very often at all once I'm there.
Does it clarify?
I'm going to be fucking miserable.
His mom lives in a one-bedroom apartment. So he'll be on, I think when they say a one-bedroom in Canada, they mean it's one whole bedroom connected to a living room. So he'll be on the couch in his mother's living room. However, he's like 36, I want to say. However, that's not the really crazy part. The really crazy part is that his mom is very old, and I think his dad's already dead, I want to say, or they're divorced or something. So she lives in a senior assisted living facility. So he's going to a one-bedroom apartment in a senior care place because he cannot take care of himself. That is fucking sad.
Cook for my mom. Her kitchen's nothing. Like, it's a shitty kitchen she's got, honestly. There's no room. I'm going to be exceptionally depressed. Well, I've got a job lined up. Like, it's something where I will probably end up getting a job at the place where my brother works now. That's probably where I'm going to end up working. Which is another thing. I will be way too tired to cook because I'm going to be working full time.
That is the part in my head that like snaps. Like, your family has lined up for you both a place to live and a job. You can just take that line and you can say it differently. He said, yeah, my brother has a job lined up for me at his company, and I guess that's what I'm going to be doing. And you can just like say that happily. Yeah, my brother's got a job lined up for me, and I guess that's what I'm going to be doing. Like, you can just say that differently, and it sounds like a good thing. But he's crying about it because he doesn't want to work. And that's the only part I'm going to play from this. It's just like there's zero ability to feel any pity for him at all because he allowed himself to become this man-child who's like a cancer attached to this fat retard. And then, even after all his fuck-ups and his gender freak shit, his family is still going to find a place for him to sleep and get him a job. And he's so ungrateful for it. And he even goes on, like, he's talking about how, like, I don't want to get a job at Burger King or McDonald's. You know what? I'm thinking, like, I'm not good enough for those jobs. I couldn't handle it, man. It's just, like, too much stress. He's literally saying that he's not good enough to work in fast food. I remember when I was young, my grandfather would yell at me about not doing well in school. And he would say, Joshua, you gotta, let me think of the exact wording because it was kind of awkward. He said something like, you have to validate your right to exist. I always hated it. He kept telling me this. You have to validate your right to exist. I don't have to validate shit. It's a right for a reason, motherfucker. And nowadays, as I am old, I'm 30, so I'm basically a grandfather at this point in terms of age. I'm thinking, motherfucker, you should literally starve to death. If you're that shitty, if you're literally too shitty to like work at McDonald's, what purpose do you serve except to drain resources from the world at large? Why, Pete? Why can you not validate your right to exist? I was very socialist, as many young and naive people are when I was a teenager, a young person. And I thought that there was such a thing as human dignity and a right to life and a right to comfort more than anything else. Now that I've become old and jaded, I no longer believe in such frivolities. And I gotta say, Pete, you gotta get a fucking job. You should be thankful that you have a fucking job, because nobody else would hire you unless your brother stuck his neck out for you, which apparently he doesn't appreciate at all. Because if Pete's a huge fuck up and sexually harasses somebody at work or something, then whose head is it? It's his brother's head. It's not his ass. He's gonna lose a job he didn't even want. His brother's gonna lose his at least will be in trouble with his company for suggesting his fuck up younger brother to begin with. On his brother, yep. So that's the Chantal stuff. Nothing too dramatic. However, the same cannot be said about Ethan Ralph. There are two parts, because there was actually stuff worth talking about for both last week and this week. So you're going to get two Ralpha segments here. The week, this is all the way back in January. So this was before the executive decision to make my last stream about just the year in review. It started off with Ralph buying his daughter a stroller, which is significant because what has happened is that after Ralph decided to piss off his wife's dad, Harry Morris, has decided to stop bankrolling her. He was, as we found out, he was paying for her even though she was married to Ralph. He was paying her tuition. He was apparently paying her money for living expenses. He was buying his daughter or his granddaughter a lot of things. Apparently, Ralph has bought Rosie nothing, and Harry Morris bought all the essential baby stuff for Ralph. So this stroller is apparently, according to Ralph himself, one of the first things that he's ever bought his child. So that's how it started. It then proceeds to him threatening Harry Morris, saying, "Harry Morris, I know where you work. I know how you build your company unethically, and I know a lot more. Think carefully, because I'm an internet, capital I, internet shitlord, and you aren't. Oh, and I know that whore daughter Alana could suck the chrome off a hubcap. Don't ask me." And then he goes on to imply that May's sister not only sucked his dick in this first tweet, but it then goes on to imply that she's has reproductive issues by saying, "The Ralph seed can't help with barren whores. Sad. Knowing Harry's proclivities, maybe he would give it a go himself." This is like she swallows too, Alana Morris of Rochester, machinist of some sort. So he's trying to basically defame everybody that May is related to. Implies that Harry Morris fucks his own kids. And then in a strike, this requires actually some setup. So as this is going on, Ethan Ralph has decided that he's going to take a big ol' Ralpha male flex on the haters by taking an impromptu trip to Rome, just like that broke dick pedophile Josh O'Connor Moon would by being a globetrotter. So he hypes this trip up, and it's a trip from Yucatan, where he lives, to JFK Airport, New York, to I want to say the Netherlands, and then he goes to Rome from Amsterdam. However, Harry Morris lives in New York, so he is taking a trip through New York Airport, and when he arrives in New York, it appears that May took the opportunity to flee. Has the mayor bucked the guns off her back, and is she now fleeing with her foal by her side to her father's house? Has she taken this trip as like a captive prison basement bride as an opportunity to run for help now that the opportunity has presented itself? Like when those Like those stories of women that were like chained to the basement, have a baby, and they take it to the hospital, and then she uses the hospital as like an opportunity to get the fuck out. It's like that. It's like I'm in New York. I'm not in Mexico. I'm not in Italy. I'm in New York. My dad's right there. I'm going while I can. So Ralph decided to announce this on Twitter and says, Amanda Morris has absconded with my child in New York City. We had an argument in the airport, no charges, of course. It was an argument on the plane, like literally nothing. But now she had disappeared with my daughter. I'm in New York City. I got the real tapes if the bitch wants to play this game, implying that he's going to revenge pornographer May. God fucking forbid we ever have to see May naked. But that's what he's implying there. And then he goes on to say, in reply to Jake from Zedpilled saying, just calm down and gather yourself so you make smart decisions. In high-stress situations, it can be easy to lash out, but think twice. What is smart for you and your family? I don't have a family. I have a whore who claims to be my wife, he replies calmly. Trust no bitch. And then Harry replies, just waking up to the news. K Puzzle? What? What the fuck? What is happening? So now, May is missing. Is she gone? Has she finally wisened up? Did she tag along on this road trip to get away from Ralph? Was this a 4D horse chess move? In fact, I was so curious that I put out a video on YouTube, impromptu, like apropos of nothing, discussing what next E-celeb Amanda would want to fuck. And perhaps because of this video, where I announced that the guy most likely to be Amanda's lawfully wedded husband and a great stepfather for Cozy Rosie would be the Gator Gamer. Gator himself, the loyal broom man of Ethan and Ralph, would perhaps take up the mantle to care for both Ralph's daughter and for May. And I mean this in earnest. I think that is the one true pairing. I think that would work out. May saw this video, perhaps in the car of Harry Morris. Harry Morris driving her and Rosie to his house to protect them. And she's on her phone killing time. And she sees that Matt at the internet has uploaded this video. Very peculiar. Usually I just stream. What could this video be? And she sees it's about her. And she watches through. And she gets through to the end. And she realizes that if she doesn't go back to Ethan Ralph right now, she will be stuck with the Gator Gamer. And she immediately grabs the car seat up, rips it out of the seatbelt, and then jumps out of the car and lands in the margins of the highway, and then hitchhikes back to New York City to return to Ethan Ralph, a slaved horse once more, but perhaps better than being with the Gator Gamer. So indeed, she does return. They make it to, this is in JFK. There was some speculation this was taken before their flight. But here's what happened. Ethan Ralph decided to announce that this whole thing was a quote-unquote work. And if you are an adult and you don't know what the fuck that means, you can probably guess what it means. But it's a thing from wrestling, because adult men who watch wrestling are basically the Western equivalent of anime fans, and they're very mentally ill and never trust anybody who likes wrestling. Every single person I can name off the top of my head who likes wrestling is severely disturbed and has a inability to determine, like, what is fantasy and reality, like, in their day-to-day life. I don't know what the fuck it is about wrestling, but that shit is for weirdos. So he calls it a work, and he says, what's so hard for geniuses to understand? I got kicked off the plane for telling a bitch to suck my dick and mind her own business. Then Amanda and I decided to work it into a storyline for the dummies to make it look like we broke up. Is this really rocket science? And I tell that bitch to suck my dick again, 10 times out of 10. Also not banned from Delta. They don't ban for shit like that. They throw you off and tell you to come back tomorrow. Oh, and they all bought it, hook, line, and sinker, including old Harry. So he claims, and this is true, we have independent verification from a Delta passenger that we hunted down on Twitter, that Ethan Ralph was in fact removed, and so was Amanda, and so was Rosie, from the flight to Rome, or to Amsterdam, from JFK airport, because he was apparently, according to her, according to the Delta passenger that we spoke to, that Ralph was having an altercation with May. He was being so verbally abusive to her in earshot of other passengers on this flight before it took off, that an older woman turned around and said something to him about how he needs to not talk to his wife like that, because she was just so taken aback by it. And his reply, of course, is, "Suck my dick, bitch." To which another passenger, this time a male, replies and says, "Don't you fucking talk to a woman like that." And this escalated out of hand to the point where a Delta passenger, from what I understand, I don't know if this is entirely true, but I think the plane actually went to taxi or had taken off and was in the early stages of the flight, and they decided to turn around and kick Ralph off the plane and cancel his flight. Like, I don't know how the fuck you walk away from that without getting a charge or what. But that's what the claim was from the passenger. So I guarantee you what happened is they got into a fight. They get kicked off. May is exhausted. They just got off a long flight. She was looking forward to maybe getting some sleep on the plane to Amsterdam. And then to do this stupid, idiotic 3-day vacation. They didn't even have the money for it to begin with. She was just wanting to sleep. So they get into a huge fight at the airport. They split up. Ralph goes to a bar or something in New York City, and they come back the next day. Now, keep in mind, when they kick you off the plane, they don't refund your ticket. So he had to buy another ticket for the next day flight, an international flight. Guarantee you, he spent several hundred, close to $1,000, maybe $1,000 for that plane ticket, which he didn't need to spend because he had to rebook his flight to begin with. And he lost a day off his 3-day trip in Rome. So he paid for a day he didn't get to use, and he had to rebook his flight, which was probably over $1,000 easily. Just to get to Rome for the 2 days that he was there. But while he's there and he wanders off the reservation and May is nowhere to be found and he's drunk and pissed off, he loses his luggage. His suitcase is gone. To this, they have not found it yet. His suitcase is gone. All his clothes in that were gone, and his laptop in that is gone. So there is out there the Ralph Mail laptop who has all the secret Ralph Mail documents on it, and we need to find it. If you are in possession of this laptop, please get in touch with my gypsy contacts so that I can acquire this, because Jesus Christ. But yeah, like, just a complete fuck up. He actually thought that he lost a $2,000 camera. Why he has a $2,000 camera, I don't know. Hopefully it's not to take pictures of him thumbing May's asshole, because I don't want to see that. But he's burning through money. He almost lost the horse and the foal in the process of this trip. He gets to Rome and he's there for 2 fucking days. He has some shitty beer. He has some shitty pasta with some black truffle slices on it. He has a boring ass looking piece of pizza. This is his true Italian authentic experience, a American style pizza, and whatever the fuck that is. And then oh yeah, this. He's so drunk he calls me John Potter, aka Josh Moon. If you don't know, I legally changed my name, or filed to change my name in New York to James Potter, because you cannot. Number one, Potter is my mom's last name. Moon is my dad's last name, and I've never been around my dad. But also, James Potter is the name of Harry Potter's dad, so it would be impossible to SEO poison the name James Potter. He vaguely knows this, so he decided to try and get at me by calling me John Potter, which is not a name. And this was years ago, by the way. This was like in 2017. So this is his epic shout out to John Potter.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's 10:31 on the East Coast here in Rome, and I just slapped my wife on the ass.
You're messed up.
Sorry, Josh. She's here with me, buddy. But nobody's there with you. Eat a dick, bitch.
I'm sad.
Oh, it's so sad. Should we cry? Should we cry a tear for him? Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
The really funny thing about this is that the reason why I pulled up this tweet is that Amanda said no more pictures of her, so just me for now. Brooks Brothers, Ray-Bans, and surrounded by bad Italian bitches. And then I say on the Kiwi Farms, oh, she's not there with him. Immediately. May is probably like, I don't want to be in pictures. I'm really worked up. This trip is stressing me out. I'm not having a good time. Please just leave me alone for the duration of this trip. He sees John Potter on Fanfic Farms talking shit. And he's like, bitch, get over here. It's picture time. And she was just like, okay, whatever. I have no option. I will be murdered in Rome if I do not consent. This is just clips of him being wasted. Maybe. He lost his bag. He keeps sucking Nick Fuentes' dick. I will play that because that's sad and pathetic. Oh yeah, he literally just demands super chats now. He gets on live and he starts saying, send me money. Send me money. I need money right now, which is also fucking pathetic. He tried to push his work story, but here's him sucking Nick Fuentes' dick. Nick Fuentes is all he has. He has nobody except Nick Fuentes. If he loses Nick Fuentes, his ship sinks like overnight. I really believe if he lost Nick Fuentes, that would be the end. So here's some fellatio.
Twitter yesterday. If it wasn't for Nick Fuentes, imagine if I had stayed loyal to Gator and Medicare and Dingo and fucking whatever other loser faggot that I created. Do you understand? Imagine if I had stayed loyal to those people instead of Baked and Beardson and Nick Fuentes and Wendell and everybody else on this platform. Even Dalton. Like at least he's got some kind of knowledge. These people are losers. You understand? Even the people we have beef with right now, right? Dalton Clawfelter, Wurzelroot. Think of the squad we have and what they have. They're busted. When Jim dies, they're done. When Jim dies, and it's going to be soon, it's literally over for these faggots. And I'm counting down the minutes. Cocksucker. Now, is there anything else?
This tweet was pretty interesting. Just as an aside, hey Harry, just banged your daughter. No protection. Mind blown emoji. Next kid will be named Ethan Ralph Jr. in your honor. Okay. Very gross. And oh shit. Oh wait, no, that's coming up. Because he really is pushing this thing where Harry wants to fuck his daughter. So he photoshopped Harry into this and said he wants to fuck May, Alice, and Gucci's. IP2 fags. Gucci's on the right, yes. I will wait for a reply to this. Gucci's. Okay, Goopy. Her on the right, Gucci's. Just saying. Okay, now, oh my god, I didn't even mention. Did I even mention Ralphomania? I might have. So if you don't remember, Ralphomania, the biggest thing that happened during that was that the Nick Fuentes people that showed up basically harassed all the wrestlers, and like, this is pretty funny. It's pretty funny and sort of like, I don't know. I'll just play it. You can make your own opinions about it. I thought it was pretty tasteless. Because I feel like you're hiring these people to harass them. And that's different than just telling people to fuck off who are, being dickheads to you. If someone's being a dickhead, you're in your right to fuck with them all you want. It's different when you like lie to people and hire them under false pretenses and then put them in this audience that's just going to like heckle them. That doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth. But I'll leave you to listen to their account because it is pretty interesting. It's pretty funny too.
So, how did the night go? It was a fucking shit show. But good God, the crowd.
You mean the part where you guys tried to walk out and they were arresting the guy in the crowd?
Oh, so they didn't arrest him. They served him papers because he violated a restraining order. And the thing is, apparently the guy lives in Mexico, so the only time he was
one of the
here...
guys that paid for the show.
Yeah. The other sponsor spilled beer in the ring at the end of the night. And they were the most racist fans I've ever dealt with.
What state we in?
We're in New Jersey, which is like not The place I thought we were gonna find like the most, like just all kinds
I
of.
thought I done heard everything in fucking Tennessee.
Dude, it was bad. Like there was a point where like we were out and they were chanting stuff and they started chanting like gay, gay, gay. Me and Ron were like, all right, bye. Like, dude, they were chanting faggot, they were chanting gay, they were chanting
Call
like.
my fucking student the hard R.
Yeah, they
One more
hard
time,
somebody.
motherfucker.
They said they were gonna rape Molly at one point. Like,
Oh,
yo,
you didn't hear that?
You didn't
one.
hear that shit? Yeah, fuck that crowd.
Oh, that's
dude.
the first time you heard this? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
they were chanting
Yeah.
Molly.
Yeah,
They chanted to Taylor.
Yo, this fucking crowd is out of pocket.
Money's not worth it all the time.
Dude, that was uncomfortable at best, and then at other times, just like, literally, I'm looking over my shoulder because there's like 50 or 60 fans that got so out of pocket that like we all felt uncomfortable. And now there's like 60 fans. It's like there's 4 of us trying to break down the ring, and I'm looking over my shoulder like,
I didn't think we were gonna, after we did the finish, I didn't think we were going to make it to the back.
No.
I can tell you this, fuck that shit, never again, and now we're going to fuck home.
Yeah, we got apologies from both promoters. We got apologies from like we got an apology from like a random dude who was like ex-security but was like friends with Mike, the one promoter. He was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm sorry for you guys having to deal with everything you guys dealt with tonight." He's like, "I used to do security. I saw." He's like, "There's a lot of bullshit. I'm sorry." You're not gonna sit there and cuss at Molly and all this shit and say you're like Molly and all this other shit. Like they were out of pocket, fucking out of pocket. And then they were drunk as fuck. Like, dude, this one dude threw a beer at some other chick while they were all doing their little podcast on the mic. And she's like, what am I supposed to do with this beer on me? I'm like, get the fuck over it, I guess. Like, I don't care.
I
Like,
told you
it's
what I
beer.
think,
I've
right?
had beer on me. Dude, she had the microphone and ran her mouth for 10
We're gonna
minutes.
edit
And
that part
literally,
out.
one of the guys was like, dude, he's like, she's a problem all the time. She always brings drama. She always brings trouble. We hate having her here. The crowd closer to the entrance was more out of pocket than the far side.
Hell yeah, that's why I was scared.
Far
to walk
side
through
was
that.
decent. Yeah, I wouldn't have had a problem walking through them. It was the fucking crowd near us that was just out of hand. We are gonna get on the road.
That's that is a normal person's encounter with Ralph and the America First people. I mean it is kind of funny, like the recount, like hearing like a normal person recount that shit is pretty funny. I don't know. I just think it's kind of shitty to hire people who you know are not going to be like down for your stuff, and then just like fuck with them. Yeah, I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't do that. I'll put it like that. Okay, now it's time for me to gross everybody out. This is the worst thing that Ralph has ever done. You are now being subjected to it.
What do you think of Triple H so far?
Mucha felicidad para ese combate. Después de ese duelo mano a mano que tuvo que ver con el corte de Jack Carney, entra un luchador que prácticamente se ha convertido en finalista en todo el mundo como lo he bandido. Un ex campeón mundial. Oh, qué
Man, look at her face. She had to get good and fucked up for that. She had to get good and fucked up for that. That's like her 8th beer. By the way, that's a good tell that she does not breastfeed, because you do not drink alcohol and breastfeed, because the alcohol goes on. I mean, unless you're like a complete piece of shit and you don't mind giving your child brain damage, which may probably is. But I'm pretty sure drinking and breastfeeding is not something you do. So whenever Ralph randomly spurts out, breast is best. Breast is best. That's him coping and or schneeding over the fact that that baby has been on formula probably since week 1, to be honest with you. So Ralph makes it home to Rome, from Rome, and after a pleasant 2-day, multi-$1,000 vacation to enjoy a pizza and a pasta in the ancient capital of the Roman Empire. He makes it back to Yucatan to settle back down to the rhythm of things, and he decides to make, unironically, the funniest segment of the kill stream in years. Not even joking. This is probably the best thing that Ralph has ever done, going back since at least the Stream.me days. So, now that Harry Morris is not paying for that whore daughter of his to, take care of the baby. Usually when you're in a relationship, I imagine if you have a stay-at-home mom as your wife, the arrangement is that she bears your child and raises it and then takes care of the house. then your part of the deal is that you pay for that, right? That's usually what happens. But Ralph Mail, he's on that Sigma grind set. And not only does May have to clean up after him, not only does May have to breed and feed, she has to also earn that fucking cheddar so that she can validate her right to exist in the Ralph Mail household. So he trots her out onto his stream for the first time in a long time, because her appearances are usually mercifully short because she is insufferable. She is one of the least charismatic people on the face of the planet. Every single thing that she says is so grating and annoying. Her voice is fucking grating and annoying. She is the most like vapid, soulless automaton that has ever walked the earth. And Ralph knows it. His fans know it. So he never puts her out. However, this time things are different. This time, Neigh is reading the super chats alone, and she doesn't know how to cancel them. So for a brief window of a couple minutes, probably about 10 to 15 minutes, May gets to hear what people actually think about her, and she has to cope and sneed about it in real time. And I happen to have a 4-minute long clip of this segment.
It's me. Let me take a second to get situated. Bibble, are you here? I don't know if he's here.
Always here.
Oh, shit. A lot.
Ralph Maladubia sent $3. How long have you been transitioning? You look great, Queen.
I'm a natal woman. I've always been a woman, but yeah, I don't really like wear makeup anymore because I fucking have a baby and I am literally always doing chores. So if you don't like it, you can suck my tit. Okay. There's a giant fucking earthquake could happen.
Ralph Maladubia sent $3. Can you pull up some lowly porn, you pedo?
All right. Tom Brady will begin.
You got your first fan.
I know. Did you hear the other one? Another person asked me how long I've been transitioning for. Feedback and stuff, but he's just going to
Ralph Maladubia sent $3. Are you seriously reading the fucking sports news, you dumb bitch? Do something funny.
She's making money. Why would she change?
There's like 50 people here.
Ralph Maladubia sent $3. A horse
Anyone
reads
have
the
any
news.
suggestions?
The absolute state of the kill stream. Is Ralph getting zooted? Bring back Ralph.
He's coming. He's coming. Thank you for the donations, guys.
Peter Horse sent $3. You look like a man.
All right. You got any original fucking
I don't know how Ethan kisses you on the mouth knowing you spent years sucking a tranny's unwashable dick.
More hate donos. They're really rolling in. He's gonna come back and he's be like, "Oh, you made a lot of money." I'm like, "Yeah, people just fucking shit on me."
I know, these fuckers don't realize all they're doing is guaranteeing he's gonna do this again.
So funny. I mean, this is a good sign. Oh.
Peter Horse sent $3. How often does Ralph beat you off stream? Was the airport cold?
How often do you actually get to talk to a woman?
I was gonna say only when she asked for it.
Wow, incredible.
Mansu sent $3. Does he thumb your horse butt and eat poo-poo off of it?
That is repulsive, man. That's fucking
You'll
repulsive.
have to wait for the OnlyFans to find out, though.
The cum road.
Since your dad doesn't pay for you anymore, Ethan is putting you on stream and charging people to insult you. It's a good idea. Nobody deserves your life more than you.
I sent one.
Okay, thank you for the money. It's really rolling in.
Like just the customers, they're just like.
Mansu sent $3. Is the new pregnancy another real Rosie? You know he's going to unalive you if it's not a boy.
Anonymous sent $3. Bonsu, if Ralph bought a motorcycle and pit bull, would you approve?
A motorcycle and a pit bull? I don't know about the pit bull, especially with the baby, but in Mexico, like, everybody has motorcycles. I don't know, Brittany.
No.
Mansu sent $3. How many times have you pegged Ralph with Nora's dildo?
You're
Be honest.
disgusting. Things get real hard.
Mansu sent $3. What role did you play in releasing the revenge porn?
What were you doing at
You
Ralph's
were
house
at his
the night he
house.
released the revenge porn?
These people are insane.
Revenge porn isn't even a thing. What are they talking about?
These people are fucking crazy.
Didn't they know?
Also-
Didn't they know revenge porn is not actually a thing? But
Dad sent $3. Continue mixing the decon and his tequila honey. You got this.
I'm telling you, if we hit the...
That was actually my dad.
Mansu sent $3. I'm talking about the Faith Vickers revenge porn where you had your West Memphis, Arkansas micropenis inside a child. And
No,
then
I mean,
ate
I
poo-poo
explained this
off
the
your
other day,
thumb.
but when there's a huge ass swallowing up all,
Look at her face as he describes having sex with Faith.
vision of the camera, actually, my penis is quite sizable.
Mansu sent $3. It's
Oh, sorry, you got scammed.
Just some of the best content that has ever been put out on the internet. It's like a payoff to a really long movie. Like, just wondering what is going through the horse's mind. Is she that dumb? Is she really dumb, or is she doing something? Is there like, no, there's no strategy involved. She's now pregnant. Oh, she must be really dumb. How is she this dumb? Is there a limit to how much shit she's willing to eat? Does she even know what people think about her? And then there's that payoff. You're like, wow, that's good. That's narratively satisfying. I'm happy for her. So he is definitely going to put her. She made like $100 just getting yelled at by the internet. So Ralph is definitely going to trot her back out on stream. However, perhaps there was some friction that occurred as the result of this trotting, and there are some clips to. Okay, I'll just play it.
It's like a massive industry around cheating on your wife here in Mexico.
Look at that face. There's a he turns to look at her, directly at her, and says, "There is a massive industry for cheating on your wife." May continues to graze on her oats for just a moment before turning to look at the camera in a comedically timed moment to think, wow, did he really just say that? Is he really saying what I think he's saying?
And other countries too, that you don't really think about in the United States.
Japan.
In Japan, there still is, but they like charge you by the night. They like, I mean, in U.S., there still is, but it's not as open. You know what I mean? Like these places are clearly geared towards cheating on your.
These places.
Or doing whatever you want to do. Not necessarily cheating, but you can rent these places by the hour, right? Like you can't do that in the United States.
You do that in motel by
Japan does the same thing. Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Well, it's not illegal here. That's the thing. Sex work is not illegal here.
My computer crashed right here, and then I reboot it and continue the stream. Actually, okay, it's working. Everything's working. Hello, YouTube again. I apologize for the delay. So I'll repeat myself. Ralph, after making the bold statement that he was that Mexico was a hotbed for infidelity, he reveals to the world his Latino hookup and makes the declaration that Pantsu is on the way. So he has made the command to his horse, "You shall accompany me while I bang this actual stripper in Mexico." I think they've already doxed the strip club that she works at and have identified this woman. And they are perhaps inquiring about if he has thumbed her booty. They are probably using Google Translate to ask more specific questions in Espanol because she is Mexican. And this led to a fight. Believe it or not, even May does not like this. This is not the right clip. One second. Let me see if I have the right clip. I do not.
Dude. Okay.
Oh, sorry. That's you're hearing the voice of Matthew Vickers. Oh, if I do not, this is mandatory. This clip of May chewing Ralph out is actually mandatory. I will stop the stream for however long it takes. Okay. So here's the issue, is that Ralph has been flagging streams and the stream that I had clipped for the May grilling Ralph thing is down because Ralph has flagged down that archive of it. I really don't want to paraphrase this because it's really funny. I'm gonna actually have to beg the Gunt chat if they have this clip, because this is a crucial, dangerous situation. As we wait for the YouTube audience to pick back up, we can take 1 second to try and find this clip. Guys, help! I am on air. Where is the May grilling Ralph clip? Help! Lots of E's. I'm gonna put the chat up on the screen. Kneel. I'm not gonna kneel. Oh, I can't without logging in. Wow, I'm being bullied by the chat. You fuckers. You have to validate your right to exist. Yes, the clip where May is making fun of Ralph and she had to apologize. Spoiler alert, don't pay attention to that part. Oh, does Cringe Mama have the exact clip? This is either a trick or it's not. Oh, he re-uploaded the video that Ralph had flagged down. Wonderful. Excellent. This is a Photoshop, by the way.
The current regime. But I'm kind of just a regular guy, man. I like going to movies. I like going to fool shit like this.
Wait, is this actually the clip? No.
Why is the
Something about Red Pill Gaming.
Actually, this is the actual clip. I'll just play this directly from the site. Oh, I can't play that from it because that has like weird porn edits. Where is the? Is there not a version of this without the weird porn edits? Okay, fine. I'll just play this.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me see. But I was gonna ask you a question. Oh yeah, it's about my.
This is the only clip I'm missing.
Aren't you hot? It's like so hot. Did you lie about my scarf? No, I like it. Do you really like it?
When you look at
Oh,
like past
she's holding the Harry Potter scarf because she wants him to buy her Hogwarts Mysteries, Hogwarts Legacy, and Ralph says no.
hatred is unhinged.
Okay.
Any further comments on just how bad? What do you like, the ascot look or the?
Someone might have a clip without the porn edits. No. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do then. Here's what I'm gonna do. You ready? I'm gonna do things that you've never seen before. Kinds of epic hacks, the likes of which I've never pulled off. Wait, it's still there. Okay, now I can't see anything. Here's what we're gonna do. Thank you for including photoshops of May and porn so that I can't just play this fucking clip, you piece of shit.
Fundraiser.
If you weren't gonna do a show today, I was gonna do a fundraiser.
Fundraise your ass up out of this room while I do my show.
You love it. You had no content beside me.
Yeah, right. I always have content. Nigga, I invent content. Get the fuck up out of here. I'm the king of content.
Yeah, you have to invent content because you don't prepare.
Why would I ever have?
Imagine doing something for money and not even being fucking prepared for it. What a shame. This is Ralph's income, by the way, and he doesn't even have the clips that he needs. Fucking shameful.
To prepare. I'm a walking living. Would you like to take over right now?
Right now, I have a screaming baby downstairs.
No, do you think you could do it better?
So this is the Ralph thing. It's like she's just teasing him, but he has such a fragile ego and such a small dick that he has to actually press it. She comes back and says correctly, I have to take care of your baby. And he's like, nah, bitch, what the fuck you just say to me, motherfucking pics nude and shit, motherfucker.
Is it you that's made over $500,000 since I got out of jail, or was it me that's done that?
Have you? Okay, let's hear that again. Because that's a really good clip.
Is it you that's made over $500,000 since I got out of jail, or was it me that's done that?
May, look at that. Look at the horse grimace. In that head, she wields a bomb. And she is debating intensely. All 4 of her brain cells are rattling around, synapsing as hard as they possibly can. achieving a 200 megahertz thought process. She is debating on the ethics of deploying this tactical nuke. In fact, can I get it? Hold up. I need the sound effect.
Tactical nuke incoming!
Oh god, it's 20 seconds. I didn't realize it was a 20. Boom.
Can't quantify this.
No, I can. I can count dollars and cents. I just want to know, was it you who made all that money? It wasn't Dick.
Look, she's still doing it. She's still debating. She knows she's holding her tongue back so much, and he keeps pressing her, and then she says,
"Digi, bro,
Where'd all the money go?"
It's still here.
She did it. She backed up because she's afraid of being struck at this point. Let's get an instant replay.
All that money. It wasn't Digi, bro.
Where'd all the money go?
She has just dropped it. He broke. Ethan Ralph is a broke bitch, busted ass trick nigga who ain't got a fucking penny. He's taking trips to Rome. He ain't got no fucking money. Where the money at? She said. Mayniqua says. Ralph Arone, where's the money you made? And he says, it's still here.
It's still here.
But she backs up. That like she gets away from him because she knows. Oh fuck, he's gonna be pissed off now.
Where's your money at?
Where's your money? Why aren't you, mother of my child, earning income for me? I have to drink and embarrass myself on air 12 hours a day, every day. Where is your income, horse?
Is it with Harry Morris?
Fuck.
Yeah, it's with Harry Morris.
No. Why would it be with him?
Well, I mean, that's the only money you ever had came from him. So.
Dude, fuck off. I've had help.
She tells him to fuck off. That is the struggle. Like, that's how you know. This I'll save it. My analysis.
Like Target.
Why are you doxing my old employer?
And then she tries to make a joke. She wants to relieve the tension after that because it's really awkward. But wow, there's a lot of unpack there. There's a lot of unpack. Let's start unpacking this. So first off, Ralph is broke. We've known this, but now it is confirmed from the horse's mouth. Literally, we now know that he's a broke bitch. And as he is a broke bitch, we can start making fun of him for that, and it will piss him off because he does not like to be made fun of because he has a small dick and a very fragile ego. The other thing, and by the way, he didn't even go for the it's a work angle on this one. Do I have this at the ready? I do not. I'll pull this up. Sorry, I somehow missed the whole thing with because it happened just yesterday is why. Please forgive me, chat. I try my best to be prepared for these. I tried to go to Ralph's profile on Twitter and I am blocked. He still has kiwifarms.net blocked. Oh, okay. I don't have it because it's on May's profile. What is May's sad and trad? Is it not? So after this, Ralph puts a gun to her head, and he says, either that or he just posts this directly himself. And he says, pretending to be May, or she says with a gun pointed to her head, she whinnies, and then says, after people in Mexico shout, holy shit, a talking horse. I'd like to apologize to the audience today. Some comments were made on air that got me hot under the collar. I was wrong to have engaged in an argument. I was not going to win any respect that I should have walked away. I work incredibly hard to raise my daughter, collaborate on the show, and try to manage the house. Thanks to everyone who watches the show and donates to help support our family. So he really cracked the whip. Number one, she said fuck you to him, and she's like, no bitch, fuck you, bitch. No bitch says fuck you to me, motherfucker. I could kill you right now. They'll never find your body in Mexico. I mean that for real. And then she dropped the tactical nuke that he's a broke bitch, as they say in the hood, which is what Ralph cares about, what they say in the hood. And that is the update. His numbers are doing very poor, even on Cozy. He's losing his audience there because, as Nick has brought in Ralph, he still brings in new streamers. And And I imagine that the new streamers are just picking up the slack, and Ralph doesn't have any kind of say in the matter because who the fuck cares what Ralph thinks at this point? If Nick Fuentes tells people to not, don't support Ralph, that number goes from 500 probably to less than 100 because I think Nick Fuentes' seal of approval is the only thing keeping him afloat at this point. In the America First people, they do have that thing where it's like they support people that are in their circle. So it's like, they will show up to a stream and they will throw dollars, to Ethan Ralph if Nick Fuentes says to, because they trust I don't know what it is about them, but they really trust what he says and they'll do what he says. So he has to keep Nick on his good side, and he's losing his audience to other people. In this case, Dalton Clodfelter, I don't know who that is, has 800 viewers and he has less than 400. So it's pretty funny. So Ralph posted this. He declared victory because he has court. While all this is going on and he's having marital issues and taking trips to Rome for no reason other than to waste his money, he has ongoing legal issues. And he was scheduled to have an appearance on February 8th, which he was able to attend remotely by Zoom. He dressed up in a suit for it. I don't think I can see pictures. Maybe I can. Oh, here it is. This Twitter, fuck it. This is him. This is how he attended court by Zoom. He looks so fucking bad. It's actually incredible. So he ends up in court, and from what actually I think someone reported that he was loud in court. Both the judge, and his lawyer told him to shut up, and he says that he won, but all he won is an agreement, which I will keep a secret. I will keep it secret because Matthew Vickers, the father of Faith Vickers, his ex-girlfriend, who he also impregnated and thumbed up the butt and then posted a revenge porn of, has something to say, which I will leave to him. Ralph says he's going to be having a fundraiser to get $4,000 because Jennifer, his attorney, sent him this email saying, "Good afternoon. Attached is my billing. As you can see, I've gone $655 over retainer. If you could please deposit $4,000 as a retainer, that should handle the contempt hearing, which he also has next month." So he has multiple ongoing trials, legal issues right now that he has to pay for. And because he is a piece of shit, my lawyers have all given me exceedingly kind rates, which I would be completely sunk if not for the generosity of the people who are representing me, both in Utah and in Virginia. When you are a piece of shit, deadbeat dad, alcoholic, revenge pornographer, you don't get the the bad beat legal rate. You get the you're gonna pay me what you fucking owe legal rate. So, the site's down. That's okay. I'll fix it when I'm done. I think I know what's wrong. But so he has to pay the money, and he begs for this money on Twitter, and someone correctly points out, "Didn't you just go to Rome?" So you want to know where you could get $4,000? If you didn't book 2 flights to Rome, you'd probably have $4,000. The other funny thing that came of this is that he reads this email on stream, and he literally gets a call midstream, and he announces on stream that his lawyer has called him demanding to know why he is showing his attorney-client privileged emails on stream. And she asked him not to do this. And then literally 10 minutes after this call takes place, he shows this email on stream again. I guess assuming that it's already out there, so what's the point? I'm not even joking. That is what's happened. So now we get to hear what Matthew Vickers has to say about the hearing. And this is purely about visitation. This is not the contempt of court charge.
It has to chime in.
The thing is, they point to the evidence, and then it just be the fucking onesie.
Dude.
And then they just would go, what?
Okay, so Faith has to chime in here. Your Honor, the outfit that he's referring to is a onesie, is a corn graphic that says "Aw shucks."
Okay, I'll play this again. Someone said that it's too low. I'll trust them on that.
Has to chime in.
The thing is, they'd point to the evidence, and then it'd just be the fucking onesie.
Dude.
And then they just would go, what?
Okay, so Faith has to chime in here. Your Honor, the outfit that he's referring to is a onesie, is a corn graphic that says "Aw shucks." Ralph.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah. Ralph, and you know good and well that's the whole corn inaudible on Kiwi Farms that you stoked. You know exactly what did Faith have to do with the
now
fucking
she's blaming the
Kiwi
corn
Farms
ju-
corn shit.
So now I think Josh Moon has grounds for a lawsuit against him for suggesting that it was
That was
who
Faith, right?
started
Yeah,
it.
no, that's mine. Don't give anybody else credit for that. Okay. But Ralph, like, you know good and well, like, yeah, but again, we're in a hearing. We're in a court hearing, and you have a DVRO, so shut the fuck up. You know about Judge. I'm not sure Judge, I'm not sure going on. Ralph, I would
Shit,
ask
sorry.
CB
I'm pinging you.
Ranger.
I did not mean to bother you with my Windows sounds. I'm trying to do shit while the clip's playing.
Finally, Mr. Ralph, we're getting kind of into the weeds here a little bit.
No, you're getting into the corn, sister. That's where you're going.
So, years ago, I made a joke about Ethan Ralph needing to be sacrificed to the corn, which resulted in him impregnating a teenager to try and epically own me, which resulted in her and him breaking up because he's a sorry excuse for a human being, which it resulted in her during a custody trial dressing little baby Xander up in an all shucks shirt, which triggered Ralph so much that he brought it up in court. And now there is an outstanding court order that during visitation with Xander, there will be a dress code in which no apparel featuring a corn cob will be present on anything that he's wearing or anything in the room. This is now a court order on the books in the state of California as a result of my all-controlling power and influence over Ethan Oliver Ralph and his life and fate. It rests solely in my hands, and I don't know what to do with this information, but I will continue to laugh at him. Okay. And that's the Ralph stuff. I have to go fix my dead gay site. I do believe it is being DDoS attacked. For debugging reasons, I removed some DDoS protection, and I believe that the forces that be have realized that I have done that. So I'm going to have to get back to fixing the site here in a second. However, I will go over the super chats before doing that. So let's get to it, shall we? If there's anything I missed, I don't think so. All right, this is the shill mode. Really? I just realized that I don't have an outro song picked. That's unfortunate. I'll have to think of something towards the end. I swear I had something picked out, and I've lost it. Broke gay waveforms. Yeah, it's a DDoS attack that happens when there's too many requests, and then the database locks up because there's too many requests. I know it's wrong. I just have to turn back on the DDoS filtering. I had it off because I was debugging something. All right, let's get to it because I gotta go. Anonymous for 2 says Chinese word of the week is ma zai or ma zi, a derogatory word for girlfriend. Literal translation being horse. Huh, that is fascinating. If you are a May in China, you're a bad girlfriend. Thank you. Wilbur Wheatley for 1074 says last week about YouTube deleting titles. What works for me is the Wayback Machine. Or Wayback matching URLs. In the 3 dots drop-down menu, show unavailable, right-click the vid, grab URL. I use get repos to get a playlist text file easier. Okay, well, that's YouTube has a button for like auto-removing music things or unavailable songs from your music playlist, and I did it at some point because I had like 50 that were missing. So I got tired of seeing that notification, so I clicked it, not thinking. Now it's probably gone forever. But I've looked to try and see what's missing. Wilbur Wheatley again for 1074 says eclectic music, tongue tied by Group Love, Problems, and See La Vie by Weathers, Sugar Pills and Leave Me Alone by I Don't Know How. Alrighty, Aphrodite by Peach Pit. That's another song that I listen to a lot. I like that. Headache by Frank Black, and y'all stop the music. Enjoy Pizza Day. Thank you. Appreciate it. Deputy Dog Crap for 10 says free Tommy Tudor. Not really. F that guy. Well, he's probably already out. It's only a trespass charge. Thank you. Josh, let me sit on your face for 5 says your weekly allowance from your favorite Latina. Also save rosie.gov since you were such a good parent to those pigeons. I am not getting involved in Ralph's horse or the foal. I apologize. And if you're a Latina, Ralph can hook up with you. Maybe you can go personally save the horse. Ron Burger for 2 says ice bank myself because my Dixie whacked. I 1 2 half 6 with foodie booties, greasy fat rolls them one day. I, Joshua Moon, will be able to bulldoze all the food into my Twinkie Queen's garage door gullet. Yum, yum, yum. You don't pay me enough to read these, but you are a Janny, so I give you a discount. Peter Muskrat for 1 says Hogwarts Legacy ends. I don't want to read this. I don't know. This seems like a joke, but I don't want to read it. It's a spoiler, and I don't want to ruin any spoilers for the good boys and girls that when I play some Hogwarts Legacy tonight. Sorry if that's just a joke, though. Pope Urban for 9 says Bible study time. Please read Judges 19:22. Let's see. As they were enjoying themselves, suddenly certain men of the city, perverted men, surrounded the house and beat on the door. They spoke with the master of the house, the old man, saying, "Bring out the man who came to your house so that we may know him carnally." But the man, the master of the house, went out to him and said to them, "No, my brethren, I beg you, do not act so wickedly. Seeing this man has come into my house, do not commit this outrage. Look, here is my virgin daughter and the man's concubine. Let's bring them out now. Humble them. Do as you want with them, but please do not touch this man, nor do such a vile thing." But the men would not heed him. So the man took his concubine and brought her out to them. And they knew her and abused her all night until morning. When the day began to break, they let her go. Then the woman came as the day was dawning and fell on the door of the man's house where her master was till it was light. When her master arose in the morning, he opened the doors of the house and went out to go his way. There was his concubine fallen at the door of the house with her hands on the threshold. And he said to her, "Get up and let us be going." But there was no answer. So the man lifted her onto the donkey. The man got up and went to his place. When they entered his house, he took a knife, laid hold of his concubine, and divided her into 12 pieces, limb by limb, and sent her throughout the territory of Israel. And so it was that all who saw it said, "No such deed has been done or seen from the day that the children of Israel came upon the land of Egypt unto this day. Consider it, confer, and speak up." The moral of the story is this is New Testament, right? Judges. So the moral of the story is that if your concubine is raped, murder her. Thank you, the tribes of Israel, for this interesting story. Anonymous for 5 says, "Hail Hogwarts." Hulk Hogan to you too, my friend. Cad and Hell for 5372 says, "Love to you, bro. P.S. Fuck Britain, Brits out." This is the Gaelic Scotsman, I think, who hates the English. That's pretty base. Is Hogwarts in Scotland or is it in England? I think it's Scottish. We all make fun of them for being British, but they're actually Scottish. Thank you though. Mario Mama for 5 says, "I've never heard pasta cope before." Oh, because I was talking about the pasta master race. Yes, no, it's not cope, my friend. We will rise again from the ashes. The ashes of Il Duce. Deman and Domenga for 537 says, "Do more Hoggy words or I'll curse your Pintai even more." Cannot threaten me. I might, but probably not. Though a lot of people enjoyed the Hogwarts stuff. It depends. Maybe if I have some time to kill, but I don't think I will. Even as I speak, my sight is both dead and gay. Roxanne Wolf for 10 says, Sneed Chat be running so fine and Kiwi Flare is giving me no issue. Can't wait to see what your next project is going to be. Year of the Kiwi already cemented with innumerable amounts of wins. Well, right now, Kiwi Flare is down because I'm upgrading it. I've been working pretty studiously on an upgrade to it where sessions can be stored across different front ends. And it's a technical explanation, but that's why we can be DDoSed right now. I don't have it up and running or there wouldn't be an issue. Eat Dirt, Drink Bleach for 5 says, Goblins getting ratioed. Unironically, Hogwarts game looks fun. Having a great time watching you play. Hope to see you finish it. It would be so long, though. I've been playing for 9 hours, and I don't feel like I've even finished the fucking tutorial of the game. Kurz Sherard for 10 says, Good evening, my fair, gentle person. I've been enjoying the game streams, and I hope you continue them, even though I know you said you're busy. They've been fun thus far. Thanks, friend. Keep the internet safe until your internet can become the internet. Thank you. Like I said, I don't know if I will continue to do the Hogwarts stuff, but yeah, I'm doing my best. I'm just here to cook for 2 says, one of my favorite things the trannies are the trends and names they choose for themselves, especially female to male names. They're always very feminine, soft male names like Sam or Oliver. You almost never see a FDM name like Carl, Greg, or Heinrich. No, Heinrich is a little bit out of style because there's a Heinrich Himmler, but yeah, that is an observation. And men always pick like horror names. They rarely pick like an actual woman's name. They pick like their gothic girl crush in high school name. Yaniok for 5 says, we've seen this retarded take about how buying Atomic Heart supports the Russian government because developers are Russian on other parts of the web, and it irritates me to no fucking end since the game studio has nothing to do with the government does. Yeah, that is true. It's a pretty stupid argument, which is why it pissed me off. Anonymous for 3 says, PewDiePie is trying to raise the new Jared Taylor. Very peace. I don't think that's what his ambitions are. Be nice to PewDiePie. Savinarez for 215 says, Atomic Heart has nothing to do with Holstan and is set in retro-futuristic 60s USSR. The reason it's shit is because it's an uninspired knockoff of BioShock made by a no-name studio with no prior track record. Bohol seething and coping is eternal. Well, I mean, a studio can release a good game and it be their first, and they can release a game that is a homage to a very old game and still be good. Especially if it's like a single-player RPG. I've always heard for years that how much people want more single-player RPGs. So if you just take something good and you do it again in a different setting, not really an issue with that. Sneedmeister for 5 says, Hey Josh, I've sent you a super chat a few months ago about Atomic Heart. It looks interesting. It would probably be good for bad at video games. Have a look. And there's a link. Maybe. The RPGs, like I said, I like games that are like 2 or 3 streams. I like it when I can stream if it's like a weekend thing, that's the best. If it's longer than that, then there's problems. Thank you. I'll take a look at it. Twinkle Tart for $100 says, Mup the dude did a promo, go bibba be that to motherfucking Bix new Kaufman dub ho motherfucker. Yeah, shit. Shit, man, it do be like that sometimes, man. I hope be saying, like, you ain't getting fucking money. Like, bitch, where your fucking money at? Well, I gotta make all the fucking money. You out there fucking, you just raising them kids and shit, man. Fuck you, bitch. Shit. Anonymous for 1 says, thank you. Anonymous for 1 says, real talk, why is they be give better legal explanations than Ricada when he's allegedly the expert? Is it the lack of alcohol and sexual deviancy, or do you actually deal with more legal issues than Nick ever did? Well, you should always take what I say with a grain of salt because I am not a lawyer. I honestly can't give an objective opinion on if what I say is more accurate because I don't know. I can only say how I interpret things. I've looked at a lot of legal stuff over my life, and I have kind of had an interest in becoming a lawyer in the past. Though that's probably very unlikely to ever happen. Anime for 5 says, Pewd's baby only needs to learn German for the full set. Sweden, Italian, Japan. No, Sweden was neutral. You'd have to learn Italian. The real hard one would be Hungarian. Good luck teaching that baby Hungarian. Striga for 4-3 says, Hey Josh, I'm away from my wife and folks for 2 weeks to get a proper trade. Could you tell me some funny anecdote about the one about the cash eating deer? I could use some extra laughs today. To get a proper trade. Wow. I don't know. You didn't really give me anything to work with. Let's see. Maybe something about my job. I've already told the funny Asian story a bunch of times. I feel like I told that like 4 times. My boss was a gay man, and he drove a Lamborghini. I want to say it's a Lamborghini. How much is a Lamborghini? It's like $100,000, right? Or a Ferrari. He drove like a really, really high end car because the Whataburger I was at was one of the most expensive, like the most profitable Whataburgers in the entire franchise. I think it was a Lamborghini. No, it wasn't a Lamborghini. It was I think it was a Ferrari. I don't know. What's like $100,000 to $150,000? That's like a gay man car. I don't know. No, I think it was a Ferrari. But anytime I see like a sports car like that, I think of my big gay boss. That was the first guy I ever saw that Corvette. It was a Corvette. It was not a Ferrari. Anytime I see a Corvette, I think that guy is gay because because of my boss. So all you Ferrari drivers that listen to the show that were sweating bolts, it was a Corvette that he drove. And whenever I see a Corvette, I think of my big gay boss, who was basically Big Gay Al in terms of his gayness level. A little red Corvette, exactly. That's exactly what it was. Everybody freaking out. Oh God, my Porsche's gay now. Okay. David S877 for 20 says, here's some goblin dollars, go buy another top hat. Oh, that's referencing the game stream where I spent it like 45 minutes trying to find a top hat to complete my Jim Sterling costume. Thank you. Anonymous for one says, me, a poor fag, donating $1 to Joshua Total Goblin Death Moon. He's awesome and he will read my super chat. Indeed, I will. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Kiryuma for 5 says, the Troon doesn't sound as extreme as the Negro. I don't remember the Nick and Drex streams being like that, but I haven't watched them in a while. Well, Drexel has to like drape it in some sort of like masculine appeal. The Troon is more raw nerve with the fetish shit. That's the main difference. Purely hypothetical question for 15 says, hey, dear feeder, thanks for doing the show. I just found out the no-fly list leaked on Breach forums, but the gyps who run it locked it behind a paywall. If someone were to buy it and send it to you, would you be willing to host it on the Kiwi Farms? I believe it's already out in the wild. It was already leaked, and I think it might be on the Kiwi Farms. I don't know. I don't pay attention to some things. I have not received any government correspondence over it, so I can't tell you. Cole for 2 says, someone should inform Patez that there is a hadith about the verse of breastfeeding, that a man can be in the same house as a woman if she has breastfed him 3 times. He might be up for it. Good luck getting Chantal to lactate with her hormones all fucked up like that. But yeah, he probably would be. Vincent for 5 says, hey Josh, we are so back. What are some of your favorite movies? Pulp Fiction, Fight Club. My genuine like top 2. I love them. I like The Greasy Strangler too. That movie has a fond stigma to it. And sometimes when I'm talking to friends, I'll do the bullshit artist thing at them. If I'm 100% certain that they are full of shit, I'll say I'll just do the whole thing, which is like 45 seconds of spurging out. So I won't do it on stream, but that's one that sends up in mind. The Room, that's a good bad movie. But yeah, Pulp Fiction, Fight Club. Thank you. Mikhail Krauser for 2 says, I'm in Cornwall. If Pete fucking moves here, I promise you I will find him and film him. Then again, 60% of the town is on welfare. He'll end up on the east end just like the rest of them. I also met Ethan once, was normal then, needs a bat now. Damn, my dude from Cornwall, Canada is about to go hunt down all the fat fucks on the forum and document them. Good luck with that. Grandpa Potter for 5 says, Josh, if you don't work hard in life, you'll end up the owner of an obscure web forum. Hey, sir, I'll have you know that it's actually a very well-known, infamous web forum. It's not obscure at all. Thank you, though. Eric Raider for 1074 says, "Hey Jersh, who did you support in Fallout New Vegas?" House. I did a couple. I think I mostly did House. I sometimes did Caesar. I didn't even know that you could do the other guys, the Democrat, like the government guys. Like you have to really go out of your way to find them and do that quest. So I never did. I never had any interest in doing them either. Mr. Man for 2686 says, Josh says corn and the pig simmers in his own fat. Josh mispronounces or divorce and the horse nearly escapes. Pay heed for this man spells misery to all barnyard animals. That's mean. Thank you, though. Haxleet for 5 says, Hogwarts Legacy just released on Steam with 95 positive reviews, thousands of nooses being tied across the Western world. We won. Actually, that reminds me. I will review the game positively right now, and I will tell you exactly what I have to say about it. The store page. This is my genuine review of the Harry Potter game. If you like the idea of an open world Harry Potter game even a little bit, you will probably love this game. I will recommend it under that context, and I will post my review. So, overwhelmingly positive. I am review number 6047. Koya Dante for 15 says, John Andrews Stan has nearly outdone himself this time. I didn't even think it was possible to edit videos someone else posts to Twitter. Oh. I guess he's talking about the porn edits. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that shit. I just wish that they didn't do that, so I didn't feel... I don't know. It just feels weird. Like, she's probably desperately trying to stay out of revenge porn. I don't think that people need to Photoshop her into porn. Mac Match Mutt Moak for 2 says, it might be worth it for people to check places where you can buy lost luggage. Perhaps someone will get lucky and buy the infamous Ralph laptop. I guarantee you that that bag has been stolen and torn apart and sold individually. You'll never find it. Dante's Horse Divorce for $100. So thanks for the show, Josh. Thank you, Dante's Horse Divorce. Spelled like that. I'm not mispronouncing anything this time. He changes it up to make me look like a fool. Seek Lothar for 10 says, any comment about the Kino Casino folding up? Are they done again? They already quit before, right? I don't know. They'll be back. What else are they going to do? They're going to go no, they'll be back. Bergen Wet for 2 says, heard of the Russian fox domestication experiment? Yes, I have. They selectively bred foxes over 60 years for friendliness to humans, and curiously, as the foxes became nicer, their fur became a lighter color, suggesting a genetic link between pigmentation and temperament. No, I've never heard of that. That could be true. That's why all the bright red animals are Angie, poisonous animals. It all makes sense now. All makes sense now. We've figured it out. We cracked the code. Danny for 2 says, Jesus Christ, is Gunt just perpetually drunk every day at this point? He's like an IV bag of Maker's Mark connected to him intravenously, making him drunk at all times. Yes, he has been on a 2-week bender, and it shows no sign of stopping. Big Belly Boy for 25 says, thank you for your service and the Ethan Ralph meltdown of the month. John Potter. Did you get the name? What? Yes, I got the name. Oh, no. Oh, I will leave that up for interpretation as regards to my legal name, obviously. Young Fan for 15 says, why does it show me a picture of a furry after I give you money? Oh, that's the mascot for donation alerts. He's Russian, don't worry. He's not furry. He's just a nice bear or something. Big Monkey Man for 7 says, yeah, funny robot voice.
So you said that the Nerevarine can open anything. What do you mean by that?
Nerevar was the man who could open anything. I've seen him do it to countless doors and chests. No secret was hidden from him. In fact, he could even open up bones.
Even bones?
Yes, even bones.
But Vivek told me that the Nerevarine just summoned a shit ton of skeletons.
No, that is a common misconception. Many believe he summoned an army of skeletons, but in fact it was simply a misinterpretation of his ability to open bones.
That's very interesting.
I Okay, there. I don't want to encourage people to send clips because it will run on for too long. But I definitely have something special planned with the AI stuff. I'm not ignoring it intentionally. Thank you, though. Haxley for 5 says the horse and pig kissing video was the worst thing you've shown on stream today. Please don't do that again. Well, if you continue to pay me, perhaps I'll take that into consideration. Thank you, though. Numbers for 2 says, I never knew how much of a doormat May is, but goddamn, that 4-minute clip is hard to watch. But then again, this is the life she chose, and she made her hay bed in the barn has to lie in it. Yes, it is true. Never feel pity for these people because they literally chose this life. She made a conscious decision to cheat, to help Ralph cheat on his girlfriend, and to cheat on Digibro, and this is what she gets. Tangerine Dreams for 10 says, Luchador Kissy Face was not the grossest public display of affection of Ralph and Mansu. Please watch this video of Scrimp Kiss. This is a video. I will describe this. I will not play it because it is actually fucking disgusting. Ralph and May are out for dinner, and Ralph and May have mouths full of food. They do open mouth kissing, and then after they're done kissing, Ralph continues to chew the food that's in his mouth. I will not play this because it is actually a line too fucking far. It is pretty fucking disgusting. Sorry, I appreciate the tip though. Coley Dante 15 says, never forget the $0.6 million. Hey, where did it go? I don't see it. I don't see any evidence of the $0.6 million. May doesn't either. She wants to know where it went. Thank you. Now, Mr. 5 says, hey, Jenny Juice, I am not caught up with the stream, so I don't know if you've covered it yet, but you should cover the Ralph Ali situation. Colonel J covered the highlights. Yeah, I'm not fucking watching shit from that. Apologies. Basically, Ralph had one ass kisser named Ali Jamal who had rich parents, and he was going to host an event in his house. Ali Jamal is obviously autistic and wants to seem like a cool kid. And despite the fact that Ali Jamal is a fan of Ralph's, when Jamal's parents backed out of when Ali Jamal's parents backed out of the because people called them and told him what kind of person Ralph is, they said, no, you're not going to have this event in our house. When the parents backed out, Ralph dressed down Ali Jamal, who's like this retarded autistic kid who just wants to seem cool. And Ali's like an actual fan of Ralph's. And Ralph is just like, because this guy's parents backed out of this event, he has no need for this guy anymore, and just like ridicules him on stream for being a spurg. And it's really cruel and vindictive, and it's like it's a bridge burn for no reason. But I guarantee you, Ali Jamal will just be back anyways because he seems like a spineless faggot. Masiko Y for 2 says, if you don't plan on rerunning the pigeon shirt, can I pay you for the art to get my own shirt printed? No, my shirts are exclusive, sir. You gotta get them while you can. Sorry. Ruggy for 5 says, hi Ruggy, how are you doing, my friend? Thank you. Anonymous for 10 says, agree with the I don't know how recommendation, would add razzmatazz. Oh, I think that's familiar. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Thank you though. I'll check these out. I usually do. Maybe one or two of them sticks. DDoS Attack for 1 says, this is a DDoS super chat meant to occupy your time and prevent you from fixing Kiwi Farms. Thank you. Very effective. Aaron for 5 says, my son watches JoJo and plays Dodo too. How do I stop making him an incel and more of a Chad like you, Josh? Well, don't be a single mom, for one. I can already tell. If he's watching anime, he's going down the path. Check out what character he's playing on Dota. I will show you this actually. Okay. I'm gonna give you a rundown. I'm grading the screen. So I'm gonna give you some. Watch his screen. Figure out what character he's playing. I'm gonna show you the warning signs. Your kid might become a shroon. Now this is the weakest one. This is let me get the actual portrait. This is Windrunner, also known as Wind Ranger by racists. She's actually very good, and people play her that aren't Shroons, but that is in the Shroon territory. Then you have this character. She is one of the most popular support characters in the game. Your kid, if playing this, might be a Shroon, might be a beta, might just like playing support because Crystal Maiden's pretty good. However, if your son is playing this character, it's too late. He's already Shrooned out. Marcy is the only. There is a story where a Saudi Arabian oil billionaire has like forced Valve to make an anime based off Dota, and it included this anime girl called Marcy, who they backported into the game as an actual character. The smartest thing they did was not giving her a voice. She has no voice lines and just whistles, which is super obnoxious. I can't even stomach playing her because it's just so fucking annoying. Everything you do, she goes. And it's just like I don't want to hear some fucking bitch whistle in my ear for an entire game. So she sucks to play. And but yeah, that's the lookout for playing any of those, heading down the dark path. However, let's talk about what your son could be looking at that's actually pretty fucking base. Okay, hold up. If your son, if you look at your son's screen, and he's playing this guy, your son is probably Brazilian. If you look at your son's screen and you see this guy, your son probably is an asshole, and he doesn't play the game as well as he thinks he does. He really thinks he's tough shit, and everyone makes fun of him in his games. Now, if your son plays this character, he's probably not trans, but he is a sick freak. He has an unconventional way of thinking. He's a menace to society. He probably reads Ted Kaczynski books, and he will probably end up in jail at some point in his life. So I hope I have helped you analyze your son's playthrough. Hopefully he's not playing Marcy. Allah forbid. And good luck with your single parenting. Neighbor Cattle for 10 says, get yourself corn, Josh. You earned it. Thanks. I'll go get myself some corn on my pizza this weekend. I appreciate it. GDOS Attack for 1 says, this is a DDoS super chat meant to occupy your time and prevent you from fixing Kiwi Farms. Thank you. It's working. You should have mentioned Dota 2, though, if you wanted me to really spend too long talking about bullshit. Anonymous for 1 says, no matter how much commies in Scotland seethe, no matter how much S&P coats, Scotland is and forever will remain British. To be Scottish is to be a parasite. They love English Gibbs too much. At least the Welsh realize this and act accordingly. Come out, you black and tans. You gotta return Scotland. Maybe France will come back to the aid of their ally and free Scotland. Man Josh for 3 says, you look like a man. Thank you. I usually get told I have soft eyes. And Kolya Dante for 15 says, no porn edits. I will not stand for this slander. John Andrew Stan is the guy who edits man faces onto May's pics. The jokes is that in all the recent videos she looks especially Manus, especially like Digibro's brother, who is his go-to face. Yeah, she does look pretty haggard, but she's living with Ralph. Give her a break. I feel a little bit mean beating up on how ugly she is all the time because Jesus fucking Christ, her life is hell. Nobody would look young or attractive or spry living with Ralph. Kitty Cat for 25 says, we want to see Jim Sterling win at something, so please finish Hoggy. I don't know, maybe. A lot of people are watching it. I'll see. It really depends. And you heard my self-talk because I'm looking at the super chats on Odyssey. Variety Channel for 5 says, hey, cheers for explaining why you are mad at the internet, Jesse. P.S. Oh, Jesse Pot Awful. I don't think Grifter and Money Hungry are accurate or menace unless you mean in the spirit of Denise. Then I'd agree. On a tier list of the worst people who are just above him and just below him. You know he's put away a few pedos. Look, dude, I don't care about Jesse. I don't want to know anything about him. I apologize, and I don't want to entertain this. And I don't believe that he's done anything useful ever, because he seems like a piece of shit. Hey, George Moo, I bought Hogwarts Legacy Premium Collector's Edition, Premium High Quality Premium Edition at a premium price because I, a premium human with premium genetics that stem from the premium Budweiser breast milk, am impervious to subliminal manipulative marketing. I am better than others. I've heard the theory that the Hogwarts shit is all marketing, but if it's marketing that pisses off trannies, you know what? More power to it. I'm all for it. I think we need more of it. I will put my money towards things that are designed to piss off trannies with glee and pleasure. All right, thank you. I have to fix my site. Apologies for cutting this short and just bashing through super chats as much as I could. Let's see what I got to play. You know what? I don't think I've ever played this song, and it's right there in my suggestions. Fuck it. Yeah, I'll play this. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Lost